Yeah, the GM said, you know what, Wizards, D&D, all this crap is lame. I'm gonna go make my own D&D with blackjack and hookers, and I'm gonna call it Pathfinder. Praise Paizo forever. It's all about the 3-point action system. Bonus actions are lame. Dab dab. WotC ruined everything. So
I'd like to use I used to use all my actions to hit on the bartender.
I don't think that takes any. I think you're good.
Just to be safe, I want to use all 3. You never know.
I don't think it gives you any bonuses, but you can, I suppose. If it makes you feel better.
I rolled 3 ones.
Session's
I hate
canceled.
this game.
Tis I, Josh. Is also Matt.
Hello.
Isaiah is not here because he has gone off to Texas to go and prostrate himself before the Golden Throne and be sacrificed to keep the Emperor alive another day.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's going to keep Sam warm in the warp.
No. He's going to Texas to be sacrificed to the Golden Throne. In other words, Isaiah's moving. That's actually what that means.
Okay.
Matt, do you know how the Golden Throne works? Just random, since we're Warhammer stuff, because
isn't just for my non-super Warhammer knowledge, isn't there like underneath the seat, there's a bunch of hoses and shit connecting to a basement where there basically is a giant blender and they just throw like souls and bodies in there and they, the Emperor sucks them up into his tubes and everything?
Not exactly how I would describe it, but yeah, something sort of like that. Yeah, anyone with any sort of magical power gets sacrificed to keep his dying, rotting flesh alive. Basically.
I forgot, because now he's like a warp god, basically.
Maybe, question mark, unsure.
Question mark.
Directions unclear. Yeah. Could be, could not be.
Yeah. Fuck, we gotta one day, I definitely gotta buy that, the new Warhammer RPG just came out and like give it a look through. Be a fun like one shot to run or mini campaign.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, fuck. I'll look it up later on, but I forgot. I've mentioned it on podcasts too. And now I'm blanking on the name of the company that made it, but I think it's the same company that made Wrath and Glory. They made a new one, Imperious.
Fantasy Flight.
Yeah, Fantasy Flight. Yeah, so they just made a new one with updated rules and a lot of like ease of play stuff, and the art looks fucking crazy.
So it's Wrath and Glory 2. Is that
what?
It's Wrath and Glory 2.
Yeah, basically Wrath and Glory 2.
All right, that's enough of you. That's your daily dose of Warhammer that we always often.
Even when Isaiah's not here, we gotta throw it in there.
Yeah, I've been a little bit deeper in the Warhammer rabbit hole lately, mostly out of boredom, and this is a bad idea. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but here we are. Mostly because
of the Dark Tide update?
Yeah, it's probably mostly because of Dark Tide, yes. That's probably a large contributor to the motivation.
I gotta jump back into that at some point.
It's also because, the patch that had dropped literally yesterday, it's fucking bussin'.
Hell yeah.
Also because I found a YouTube channel I like. Talks about Warhammer stuff. Anyway, none of that's relevant because we're talking about Dragons. Wizards of the Coast.
In Norwegian, that means the D&D 5e UA playtests packets that have been released.
Yes. Talking about the 2024 rules refresh playtests that have been coming out over the past almost a year at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually since last year.
Was it? Did it start last year? I don't remember when it started.
It started last year, yeah, because some of them have been, yeah. So, the character options one came out literally over a year ago in August. Character origins.
Okay, in a year.
Yeah. So yeah. Crazy.
People who pay astute attention may have noticed that when the first couple came out, we talked about them individually. And then we just kind of stopped. Mostly because it was just getting exhausting, and it was a lot, and then there was just a lot of arguing and going back and forth and blah, blah, blah. So we just kind of were like, you know what, fuck it, we're all just gonna absorb the information at our own cadence and go from there.
Yeah.
Because let's actually, hold on.
I think we did like three.
We did like 3
episodes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
like
we
3
did
episodes.
the first 3.
I'm trying to see when we did the first one. See if I could. Oh, here it is. It was, August 31st. So, yeah.
Well,
Yep, August 31st, we did the first 1D playtest.
yeah, because I remember there was the expert episode we did. We were talking about the bard or the ranger for so long. Yes. And then I got confused being like, didn't we do a ranger episode? And it's like, no, we just spent a while talking about ranger on the playtest. Ranger in the expert and being like, this is so fucking good.
So we're going to talk about the playtest. But a little more holistically, a little more broad strokes. We're just going to talk about where it's up to this point, just because, I don't know, I've been thinking about it. And I think at this point, I feel like it's a little more clear what they're doing with it. So I feel like now is a more reasonable time to actually start talking about it.
It also seems like a lot of the discourse from not only the playtest and the fan feedback, but also Wizards of the Coast and the whole one, the big drama that happened earlier this year. Not that people have forgotten about the drama, but it seems to have died down. It seems people are like, okay, let's look at this stuff with clearer heads now and actually like read the playtest. Because I think
I don't know if I'd say people are being any more reasonable, but there's a little more. There's more to chew on, so I think we have a better picture.
Yeah, because I know in the last, I don't know if it was 6 or 5, the playtest, the one that had like 7 fucking classes in it. I remember specifically so many people being like, "This is too much."
It's a lot. Yeah, we'll get. All right, hold on, Matt. You're getting too far into it. Before we got him. Matt foreplay. We got to tease him in. You can't just ram straight from the start. God damn.
Speaking of foreplay, Josh.
Speaking of foreplay, yes, a foreplay I would be a big fan of for you person listening right now is if you hit the follow or subscribe button on your podcast platform of choice. That would really just rev my engine if you...
Fucking hot.
Hot. Like a hot rod. As engine. Cars. Hot rods are cars.
I was just going to say it's sexy as hell, but all right, yeah. Yeah, hot too.
Matt, we can't say that. We're on the internet.
What do you mean?
That's not.
No, we just can't. It's radio. Wait, you can't say sexy in PG-13?
I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Before we really, start chewing the fat on the steak and just here's my question to you, Sir Matthew of Hungary, or Norway, or wherever the fuck you were.
I was in like 6 different countries, but it's fine.
Throw a dartboard, you might hit one. What is your general temperature? What's the temperature check on the 2024 rules revision up until this point? Where are you at? Across the whole board, include everything in your brain. Take all the events into consideration, all the stuff in the books and everything and so on and so forth. Where are you at?
I think I'm liking a lot of the changes. There are a couple like small handful of things I'm not too thrilled with, but overall I'll give it like a thumbs up, Okay. Because there are a lot of like cool, like again, Ranger seems to be pretty good and a good place now.
I would argue Ranger's not any better.
No?
No, I don't think it's any better.
I gotta reread. I remember last time we were like, it looks pretty good, but
I think last time we were like, they're going in a direction, but it needs work. Now it still feels it just still lacks an identity. Still don't feel like it has an identity.
I gotta go back and read that. There again, there are certain classes that I think Wizards like. Obviously, they kind of already have in mind what they're gonna do, like Wizard. Like they kind of are like, yeah, we basically perfected this. We don't really need to change too much. I think Paladin now, like they can fist smite whatever the fuck they want. I get people are upset about the Divine Smite nerf, but it's
pretty sure they took that back anyway.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay.
I think, or maybe they said they were gonna. I don't even know.
But there's a lot of. I think what the main focus has been is they're doing a lot of quality of life changes. For players mostly. For DMs, it's kind of up in the air
DMs
at the moment
can
for me.
Lick their balls apparently.
Yeah, which again, I know they're like, oh, D&D is under monetized. We want players to buy more of the products. And it's like, okay, yeah, but hey, me, a DM, a guy who buys mainly your product. Why am I getting more work? What are you doing?
I don't know if you're I don't know if you're getting more work, but you're definitely not getting less.
Right. And it's not that I'm asking for like less, and they've been doing like when it comes to new adventures, making it a little bit easier for DMs with like, sidebars and tech boxes and actually like maps and shit. But yeah, with the core rule books coming out, I'm a bit hesitant just on the DM side of things because we haven't seen any monsters either. And
yeah, so
I'm like, yeah. No,
that's one of the things I was gonna get to.
Yeah. Because I've been seeing, like, again, a lot of the monsters now, like the fact that they added reactions and bonus actions into stat blocks now, great idea. The fact that I'm noticing that they're taking out legendary actions, which has been a thing that most DMs I've talked to or watched on YouTube or listened to on podcasts have said one of the best features that Wizards had made to 5e was legendary actions. Which it seems like what they're doing instead now is they're giving every boss monster a reaction. They can do 3 reactions, which is weird.
Yeah, they're doing a slightly modified. I mean, it's basically what a legendary reaction is anyway. It's just basically slightly different. I don't know if they're really. I don't think they're getting rid of legendary actions, but I think they're maybe trying to rebalance things a little bit using reactions instead. I'm not really sure.
I don't know, because like I like the idea of monsters having legendary actions and reactions. Like the reaction doesn't have to be crazy, but like you get in that situation where you're fighting the dragon and it uses legendary action to, I don't know, do the wing attack, and then afterwards you're like, all right, on my turn I'm gonna eat the reaction. I'm gonna try and like Dark Souls barrel roll out of the way. Oh, the dragon uses its reaction to try and like take a swipe at you, whatever. Like, and that's just like the basic bitch like example. But like, there's so many other monsters that could have like cooler reactions, and I feel like just lumping legendary actions in with reactions, it feels like they're taking something away. But yeah, maybe it's just which has been another thing I've noticed with these playtests. They're just moving things around and saying we did new thing. Look.
Okay.
And it's like no. It's like, no, you just moved it.
All right. Let me jump in on that one, because that's a key off from you're like, I'm overall positive. I'm pretty disappointed, pretty much across the board at this point. But probably not for the reasons that you would think.
Well, yeah. What are you? Because again, I have some complaints, but like.
Well, so like you were saying, so the moving things around, right? That is a symptom of a larger thing, I think, which is that this rules refresh thing feels just kind of pointless to me. Don't feel like we're achieving anything here. I am disappointed. Let me give it to Saga, right?
Yeah, go for it.
I said before they announced they were doing the rules refresh, right? Before that D&D summit happened where they were like, 1 D&D. I was like, they're not going to make a new version of 5th. They're not going to make a new edition right now. It just financially wouldn't make sense for them. I said, but if they were to try and make a new edition, what they would have to do is make it backwards compatible. And then they made the announcement basically saying, we're making a new edition and it's going to be backwards compatible. And I got really excited because I went, first of all, I'm a golden god, a prophet, if you will, praise me. But also, second of all, because that was what I wanted to see.
And then they lied.
That
kind of half-lie.
That's where it gets weird, right? So did they lie? I don't know if they lied, but...
Well, the main thing they were like, yeah, it's backwards compatible. 6 months later. By backwards compatible, we mean you can play in an adventure.
Well, okay, hold on.
That's not what fully backwards compatible means, Mr. Jawcrosser.
All right, first of all, all right, let's go. I get really, this shit annoys me.
Yeah.
I think that is a perfectly valid excuse, not excuse. That is a perfectly valid way to say it's backwards compatible. It works with all the adventures, and a 2024 player can play alongside a 2014 character. That is what they meant, and I think that makes perfectly good sense. And that is not the part I'm annoyed with at all.
See, my understanding of backwards compatibility was like, you can use stuff from either the 2024 book or the 2014 book, and it's viable.
Yeah, you can. Right? Yeah, that's what.
Now I'm not the only one who thought that.
Well, no, that's what a lot of people. That's what they're doing, though. Like you can play.
If you play an Eldritch, you can
play like a 2024 cleric and have a 2014 cleric, and they can play right next to each other, and they'll both function, work, and be fine. Now, the like one's gonna be more powerful or blah blah blah. That's like a whole other discussion. I don't really think that matters. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's important. The idea that the 2014 cleric should be just as powerful as, or more correctly, should I say, the 2024 cleric should be at the same power level as the 2014 one. I don't really think that matters. That in terms of
people,
because here's the thing: if you're worried about that, you're just gonna play the 2024 version, right?
Right.
But presumably, if you're the kind of person who's like, I want to play the old version of the cleric, even though we're using updated rules, you're probably saying that because there's something about the old version you liked, and the game will still function, right? They're not changing any of the base core systems. They're not changing saving throws. They're not changing stats, attacks, ability checks, how spell slots work. They're not changing any of that crap, right? All of the base core of the system is still there. So I think that counts as backwards compatible. But also, I don't give a fuck about that part. That wasn't the part that bothered me. A lot of people got really uppity about that. I don't think that's the important part. I think people are missing the forest for the trees here. Is what I'm because
the 2024 it is meant to update the new ones. I think it's just a couple of the things that they're doing. People are like, the biggest one I'll say is Druid. Even with the last one where they went back and they got rid of the whole like element, because Druid's been in 2 playtests, and the first one I don't think a lot of people did because it was when the OGL shit was going on. I'm gonna be real. I don't think a lot of people did the survey for that.
Probably not.
The second, but the people that did, it got a lot of negative reviews because they didn't like the stat block thing. And so now it's back in. I gotta reread it, the new Druid, what they did with it, and a lot of people are still kind of unhappy with it. And so it's like you're gonna have these games where the people are gonna play.
So some
people rule.
People are gonna be unhappy and they'll play the old version.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think
which is doable right now.
It's doable, but I think a majority of people, what they wanted was like, we want everything to be elevated. We want everything to be like,
but it is
like not viable, but like we want people we want the update to make the old druid more powerful or whatever.
But that's what they're doing.
That power creep is.
But that is what they're doing. That's what the 2024 version is. I want it to be updated and more functional. That's what the 2024 version of the class is. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're making updates to everything.
They're trying. That's the thing. They're trying. I don't know if
whether they're succeeding or not. The point is that's what they're doing. That's the goal.
Right.
So the idea that people are like, we want everything updated. You are getting everything updated.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. That has nothing to do.
No, I think the main point people have is it being successful or not? Is it just as good? Because a lot of people.
Well, no. Again, no, because we're talking about the backwards compatibility complaint, and I don't think the successfulness of the updates have anything to do, like whether they're viably, meta good or whatever, has nothing to do with the backwards compatibility aspect of the whole thing. Like, I don't understand what people, when they say backwards compatibility, I don't understand what people expected that to mean. Because everything I've seen, it's still a backwards compatible system. Everything will basically work with some minor little tweaks here and there. Will basically work with any 2024 content. Like, I don't see how anyone's saying it's not backwards compatible.
Well, one example, and this is a very, very rare case, because Mike Shea mentioned this on like one of his podcast episodes, where it's like, what if you're the like very rare few? Because he's like, a lot of people I know, like they play with feats. Some people play without feats.
Yep.
If you migrate to the 2024 rules, you are forced to use feats because everyone gets one at level 1. Yeah. Now, what if you're one of those people in one of those gaming groups that don't use feats?
Just don't
Again,
use the feats.
Just don't use.
Is that not? Just say we're using. All you have to say is we're using the 2024. We're using the 2014 version of how feats work. Ergo, we're not using feats. That's literally all you have to do.
Yeah.
And it works. Boom, bang, boom.
Yeah.
And then everything else can be. I'm playing a 2024 cleric, but for the feat rules, we're using the 2014 rules. That would work. It'd work fine.
So just making them optional instead of.
Well, they're optional they're optional in the 2014 rules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So what you're doing is no, you're not making them optional. What you're doing is
no, making the newer ones because the 2024
that's not even what I'm
ones,
saying. That's not even what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have both books and you say, all right, guys, we're using the 2024 Player's Handbook. However, we're going to use the feat rules from the 2014 Player's Handbook. At which point a player goes, aren't the feats optional in the 2014 Player's Handbook? And the GM goes, yes, they are optional and we will not be using them.
Oh,
boom.
Lamau.
So you don't need to do anything with the 2024 version. That's the backwards compatibility. It works in both directions. Now, is this a really roundabout way of making them optional in the 2024 version of the rules? Yes, that's what I'm doing. That is what that is. That is a really roundabout way to get to that point. But what I'm illustrating is that is backwards compatibility.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm being slightly semantic, but for a reason. Semantics with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't actually care about the backwards compatibility part because I think they are achieving that no problem. I don't think there's been any problem with that part. I'm overall disappointed with this whole thing because I don't think they're going far enough. That's my problem. I look at all the playtests we've gotten up to this point and all the stuff they said in all the videos and so on, and all the information we have. And I just look at this and say, this is not a big enough change or a big enough deal to warrant the type of hype and push that you initially put behind it.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's just not, it's just, it just feels like, video games nowadays, they have really big patches and they give them a name because it's like, it's like, this is for example, Darktide, they just did patch number 13. And it's like, this is the big skill tree patch. That's all this feels like. This feels like a big video game patch, but it doesn't feel like something that they had to get on stage and be like, one D&D. It's not.
Well, they
it's not that big a change.
Do you remember when the Creator Summit thing happened? I think someone literally asked something similar to that. Be like, like in video games, a patch will come out and the patch is free because it's supposed to fix the rules. Why are we paying for a patch?
Yeah, I mean, that's
and they were like, oh, it's not just the patch, it's a bunch of other stuff, and they're adding new classes and new things and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
and they tried spinning it, but like, I do feel that as well.
I would say they're both right and wrong. Like,
right, because I get what they
are patching, but they are adding.
Yeah. Business wise, it makes sense. It's like, 50-year anniversary of D&D. This new version, the most popular version of D&D, which even when they were making it, they said this is going to be the last edition of D&D because either this edition will work and it'll last forever, or we will fail as a company and
no, sir. Nobody thought this would work. I've heard Rob Schwab was just talking about this. Did the Mastering Dungeons episode? Did you listen to that?
No.
Okay, you should go and listen to that episode where they had Rob Schwab on, the writer for Shadow of the Demon Lord, because he worked on 5th edition in the really early days, and he said
he also worked on a lot of 4th edition books.
He did also, yeah. He said basically everyone in the office said this is gonna be the last edition of D&D, but everyone was saying that because they were like, because it's gonna fail.
Oh,
that's what nobody, as far as I've heard, no one in the offices thought this was going to work. Everyone was like, this is going to be the last edition. This is the last hurrah of D&D. This is going to be the last edition because we're going to run out of money and that'll be it.
Yeah. Because that's why I thought like the mentality was like, listen, this either has to work or we are screwed.
No,
it paid off. So.
I don't think any of them. I think it seems like from what we've heard over the years, all of them gave up on the possibility of it working, which is kind of funny considering what happened.
Yeah.
But, so the my problem with this whole rules refresh is it's not going far enough. To me, this feels like superfluous. We're just doing something for the sake of doing something. And in terms of the video game patch comparison, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. On one hand, I understand being like, why are we paying for a patch? On the other hand, you do have to acknowledge that D&D is not a video game. And so if they want to do a big update, they have to reprint the physical books, which means you have to buy them again because it's physical media. That's just how in the same way that in the old days, video games, if they got major updates, they would re-release the entire game, right?
Yep. That's look at the fucking old Pokemon series. Like, we have Sun and then Ultra Sun. You're like,
I like that you went to Pokemon. My comparison was going to be fighting games, which are way more egregious for this.
Oh, are they? I don't know.
Matt, do you know how many versions of Street Fighter 2 there are?
Oh, a million, right?
It's like 30 plus. It's ridiculous. I don't remember the number. It's a lot. Because what they used to, because back in the day when, especially when a fighting game was an arcade game, you had to update the entire arcade board, right? You couldn't patch an arcade. You had to update the entire board. You essentially had to rebuy the game. So that's why you have things like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Super, Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo, Street Fighter, that's why you have Street Fighter 3 A New Generation, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. That's why you have Guilty Gear Plus R, Guilty Gear Plus R Accent Core, Guilty Gear Plus R Alpha Accent Core. Yes, that's a real video game. You have Guilty Gear Xrd, Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator, Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator 2. Because you had to essentially re-release the game to update games. That's how things used to be. The Persona games do this too, although they only do it once. But, that's why we have Persona 3 FES, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royale. Those are all same idea.
What?
Huh?
I said that was just like the fuck.
You didn't know about the Persona updates?
No.
Yeah, they've re-released every Persona game at least once. 3's been re-released like 4 times, something like that. And it's about to get a remake soon, so it's another one.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're doing a big remake for 3. Because you can't buy 3 legally easily anywhere. Like you can't get 3 anymore.
Didn't they? Oh no, that 3.
So they re-released
5 and 4 on PC. Yeah,
no. They did. Sorry, you're right. They did release Persona 3 Portable on PC very recently on Steam, but that's very recent. And also it was kind of a bad port. Anyway, point being, they're in a similar boat to video games back in the day where you have to sort of re-release the entire thing and you have to buy a whole new product because that's just kind of the nature of the medium. So I don't really blame Wizards for that part.
No.
All that being said, I still just feel like this has been overall disappointing in terms of they made it seem like here's the problem. Here's the real crux of it. In the beginning, it seemed like they were announcing a new edition. Right? At first, everyone's like, so we're getting a new edition. And then they went, we're not. No. It's still 5e. It's not a new edition. Everyone said, okay, what is it? And they're like, it's a big rules update. And everyone's like, so a 5.5? No, we're not going to call it that either. It's just a big update. And everyone went, so what is it exactly? And at this point, the phrase they're using these days is rules refresh, which essentially is just another way of them saying, we're going through everything in the old books and taking a look and making adjustments where we think adjustments need to be made on all that content. We're refreshing everything. That's where we're at now. They say they call it the 2024 rules refresh. That's what they call it now.
I'm one of those people, and I hate this because a lot of movies do this now. Movies do this. They've been doing this where they're afraid of adding a number.
Yes, I know that bullshit.
And like the new. I joked with one of my coworkers, the new Mortal Kombat game. It's Tomb Raider, Mortal Kombat 1 2014 or 2023, not to be confused with Mortal Kombat 1990, whatever the fuck. Like, it just add the number. It's not that big of a deal. And people have been clamoring and being like, I think the meme is because of how, like, again, Matt, they're being with like sticking their head in the sand, being like, no, is not 5.5. We refuse.
Well, here's the thing.
It's like,
honestly, at this point, I kind of agree with them. It's not 5.5. That's kind of my whole point, is they're changing so little that it's not a new edition at all in any way. I agree with them now. That's what.
No, I mean, it's like, it's not drastically different, but again, it's
right, that's the
updates.
problem. But that's my problem.
It's updates. They've changed the way how they've moved a bunch of stuff around. They changed how certain classes.
Yeah, but
like,
you said
function,
yourself,
like,
they're just moving things around.
Certain thing, yeah. Again, they're moving some stuff around. Like again, the one egregious one for me was like the fact that they're like, yeah, we're doing spells as class features now. And it's like
they're just doing.
Or when they moved, what do you call it? In one of the playtests for the Warlock, the first one, the bad one, where they're like, yeah, we're taking the pack magics and we're making them spells. And everyone's like, no,
that's
the
not
fuck
what
are you
did.
doing? Yeah.
No, the pact.
No, the
pacts,
newest one now they're invocations.
They weren't spells. No, they weren't spells. What happened with Warlock? No, the packs were still there. What happened with Warlock was that they became half casters.
That too. No, but I'm saying that I'm saying
sure
with moving things around. I'm looking at it right now.
I don't.
What they did was they moved the invocations. They made them into spells. And so everyone was like, "Why the fuck is Pact of the?"
Wait, the packs?
No, I mean, sorry, the packs. The pack, like Pact of the Blade, the Pact of the Tome, and Pact of the Chain. On playtest 5, they turned them into spells, which people were like, "Why? The fuck are you doing?" So then with the playtest 7, they're like, "Oh, okay, now we're moving them, and instead of being class features like they are in 2024, and instead of being spells like they were in playtest 5, they're now invocations." So it's moving them around until people are like, okay, we're where they're moving them to.
Right. So you're just reinforcing my point.
Yeah.
All they're doing is what grandma does every once in a while when she moves the furniture around and then acts like it's a new room. No, grandma, you just took the couch from one wall and put it on the other wall. Don't tell me it's a new couch. It's the same couch. You just moved the couch.
Certain ones, certain thing. A lot of it seems like, yeah, there's a lot of things that seem like they're just moving around.
So again,
for whatever reason,
to reiterate,
again, yeah.
my whole thing is this moving things around. It just feels like a nothing burger. It feels like we're not achieving anything because I was excited at first because I thought we were going to get like a big shakeup on 5e as it is. Thought we were going to the whole, it's a new edition. It's not a new, whatever. I was like, we're going to get a big shakeup. They're going to do some new and interesting fun things. And some of the early playtests, they were trying some wacky woohoo shit. But now we're at this point where I'm like, oh no, you guys are playing it really, really safe. And now I'm just disappointed and kind of don't care anymore because all you're doing is moving the furniture around and calling it and saying it's like a it's meh.
Well, some of the stuff they've been innovating, like the last rogue, where now you can spend your sneak attack dice to do maneuvers and stuff.
Matt, those are just little. Stuff like that's fine, but they're not. I wanted them to rework the system. I wanted the scaffolding to be looked at.
I think that would be a whole new edition, which is not what they want to do.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's
the
why
foundation's good. Keep it.
Right. See, that's my problem. I want the foundation to get looked at, which is why I was excited initially and have gotten progressively less excited because what I'm now realizing is, oh, you guys aren't changing the foundation. You're not redoing the shingles. You're not changing the roof. You're just moving the furniture around and painting the walls a different color. That's all. Well, I guess
specifically, what would you have wanted them to do? Like, what do you like? What do you mean by check the foundation specifically?
I mean, do you want Josh gets to do whatever he wants, crazy ideas? Answer,
sure.
Or do you want what I mean, okay. For me,
for you, and
I would want overhaul on the encumbrance and equipment system, an action point system, throw out action, bonus action, reaction crap. I want a proper action point system. I would think a rework at how multi-classing works would probably be a good idea. They're readdressing feats, which is one of the ones I wanted them to do. Although they're playing it, they're playing it mostly safe.
Some of them are really cool.
No, I don't mean no, not individual feats, just the whole the system.
Oh, the whole system in general.
Talk about systems here. If it was up to me, I'm talking about the systems I would rework. Spellcasting's probably fine. I would relook at equipment, just like in general. Like I wanted some pretty like let's fucking shake this. I mean, if you want you want some buck wild shit, Matt. All right, you want some buck wild shit? How about we toss out those 6 ability scores? I think we could go down to 4. I also don't think we need the ability score. I think we can have just the modifier. But I know they'll never. I know they'll never do
the modifier. Yeah,
just the modifier. I know they'll never do that. But like, if it was up to me, it'd be probably strength, dex, and charisma. We don't need wisdom.
Not wisdom.
We don't need wisdom. But we don't need con.
You can add some stuff from charisma into wisdom.
I think wisdom and constitution are kind of superfluous. And this is backed up by the fact that Shadow of the Demon Lord only has 4 stats, and it's those 4. Or Shadow of the Demon Lord. Sorry, no. Actually, no. Shadow of the Demon Lord has strength, agility, which is dexterity, constitution, and intelligence. That's what Shadow of the Demon Lord.
Oh, so they took out
charisma and wisdom. They took out.
Yeah, because I don't know if. Because again, I haven't really dug deep into Shadow of the Demon Lord or the Weird Wizard. But is there a lot of role playing, or is it mostly dungeon crawly? Like we kill monsters, a lot of like crazy gnarly shit.
Same amount of role playing as in any D&D game.
Okay.
There's no there's nothing. There's nothing in the game that would like necessitate less or more role playing in comparison. Like the rules don't have anything to say on that. So as much or as little as you want, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Because I don't know.
There isn't a skill system, though, which is interesting. Everything's just based off your stat, and then you have a background profession, and then your profession dictates if you could potentially do a thing or not, or if you're good at a thing or not. So, for example, if you're like, I would like to patch this person's wounds, and then you're like, all right, well, it'll be an intelligence roll. Do you have any medical training? No, I was a dirt farmer. Oh, then I'm not going to let you make the roll. You can't do it. And then the other person says, oh, I was a doctor. That's my background profession. Okay, you can try and patch their wounds.
Yeah, that's one of the things
that's how the skill system works.
They changed that with 5e because I've had a couple of players who played older editions and they were very confused, being like, yeah, everybody make a medicine check. And he's just like, but we're not proficient. No one's proficient with medicine. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. This is just a general check. And he's like, but no one's proficient.
Oh,
It was like watching the gears turn in their heads, being like, but
well, Shadow of the Demon Lord doesn't even do that. Like, there is no skill list.
Yeah,
you make a stat check.
Well, I just meant like the whole checking, like not being able to do certain checks
because you're a background. Yeah.
A lot of older editions do that.
Yes.
So,
point. Yeah. So like, I would do drastic things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
yeah, I agree with the ability modifier thing though. That
any individual, I know I said right, like I said, action point system, redo the encumbrance, redo the equipment, right? I'm asking for a lot of shit. I didn't necessarily expect them to go as crazy as I was just stating, because I know there's certain sacred cows in D&D that they just won't kill. But what I've learned is not only are we not getting the kind of shit I was looking for, we're getting less and less of what I was looking for as time goes on. So I'm just getting more and more disappointed is kind of really where I'm at. So I'm sort of lukewarm on the whole thing at this point. And I think at this point, I feel like the only thing that's really going to get me excited is if they do some interesting stuff with monsters. I think that's pretty much the only thing that's bringing me back.
I don't know.
I like, that's the main thing for me. For the GMing standpoint, do some wacky woohoo fun times with monsters, and maybe I'll be interested, you know?
I want them to do, I don't know if you remember, there's a 4th edition book called the Monster Manual Essentials. And it was basically like the last monster manual book they made. But it was like, here's like all the important monsters from 4E put in together. So this is the only monster book you need to buy. And they had like everything cool. that people
Well, you
mainly
know that
used
ain't
from
happening.
all the other books.
You know that ain't happening
No.
because that means less money because then you have to buy less books.
Yeah. But like, no, I'm saying that's what they did back in the day. So,
Yeah.
and they had a lot of interesting monsters. With this new monster manual, I'm wondering if they're going to just update everything from the basic bitch monster manual and just call it a day, or are they going to throw some really popular monsters from other books, like some Tome of Foes or whatever, and throw them in there? I know they just got the other Mordenkainen book. But
Yeah, I believe they said we're only getting monster manual. I think that's what they said.
or like add some new monsters. I don't know.
They may add new monsters, but in terms of monsters that are getting like redone, I believe it's only monster manual.
Yeah.
I think. I could
Yeah,
be wrong,
no.
but
I'm not
think
asking
that's
to
what they
redo
said.
the other ones. I just meant like adding more to the monster manual. I know they mentioned like they're gonna have alpha versions of certain monsters, so it's like,
Yeah.
here's a doppelganger, and then here's a doppelganger alpha, and I'm like,
Yes,
oh, all right,
which is good. I would like that. Yes, I like that.
yeah, I want more of that. But
Give me a wider spread of lower CR shit, right? Give me more goblins, give me more kobolds, give me more bugbears, give me all that shit.
Yeah.
Because older editions used to do that. Like 4th edition did that really, really well, and they just sort of didn't for 5e for whatever reason.
yeah, and I know the new giant book just came out, but it's like, can we have more than like one giant per, giant subspecies in the fucking monster manual?
Also,
And then even in
everything's-
Volos, they only added one new one. Like, come
also
on.
all of it's so high CR.
Well, no,
like-
giants. That's the thing. The giants, they vary. So you can have a hill giant that's pretty low level, and then, a storm giant's going to be higher
but
level. But like a
wasn't-
fire giant could be a good boss for low level players.
There wasn't a lot of low CR stuff in the giant book.
In the new one, yeah, I know.
That's what I mean. Like, they're
a
like,
small handful, but
this is what I don't understand. Wizards out here like, and nobody plays at higher levels. Anyway, every monster book is going to have really high level shit. Like,
I think they throw one or two, or they throw out like a small handful. Recently with like Fizzbands, because dragons obviously they have a lot of ancient ones.
shit.
No, there's a
Not
couple
all,
good
but it
low
was
level
a
stuff in there. And then
very
the
little,
giant
though,
one, the
comparison.
giant one, it's even less small handful of shit because I guess giants, they're like, we have to make more powerful giants like the Scions and other cloud giant gambler or whatever. Like, and it's like, sure, maybe they're finally answering the thing of like, 5e's pretty old by now. We're assuming probably people are playing higher level games now. Maybe we'll just throw them a bone, but also I've given up on that, and I'm like, maybe they're just like, well, it's a giant, so it's gotta be powerful.
I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking because I just think it's really funny that they're constantly like, nobody plays high level games. Anyway, here's the CR25 monster. You're like, but you just said, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay.
I'm surprised they didn't do the thing from Fizzbends and like, because like they made a Scion is like a super giant.
Yeah.
Depending on each giant class, and they did the cool thing where like first there's an egg, you have to break the egg, and then the giant pops out. So you're basically fighting two different creatures, but they're both basically bosses. I'm surprised they didn't do the thing from Fizzbands with the Great Worms, and just made it a template that you could just add to an ancient dragon, and you're like, all right, here is a template for a Great Worm. It adds its CR by this much, does these things instead. Here's its mythic actions. There you go. Oh yeah, wait, fuck. None of the new giants are mythic monsters. What the fuck? I just realized.
I didn't look at them that closely.
That's the other thing. None of them have legendary actions. And none of them, no, there's, what? I gotta, hold on, I gotta double check.
We're losing
that.
the plot here, Matt. We're losing the plot.
It's not, anyways, whenever the monster PDF UA comes out, I'm definitely going to be looking at it because, and I feel, I don't know, actually, I don't feel bad about this. There have been other companies, other third-party companies who have been making better monsters than Wizards of the Coast. Just flat out.
I mean, yeah.
You have like the new MCDM book that just came out, the Flea Mortals. I'm going to be using shit from there. You have Advanced 5e, the Monster Menagerie. Awesome book. You have some shit from Cobalt Press, like all the Tome of Beasts and the Eldritch Lairs. Great materials. A lot of cool monsters. Wizards of the Coast have been, again, it's this weird thing, and I'm not sounding like a hater, but with Wizards of the Coast, it's 50-50. It's either you're going to have monsters that are great, or you're going to be like, wow, this is worthless. And you like, So like the Fizzbins book is probably like, again, it's kind of up there for me with like recommended, like you should probably buy this book for 5e. If you're like a new DM being like, what do I need? You know, this is one that I would say like is very highly recommended, not needed, but highly recommended. The Giant book, I'm like, it's Giants. Like, maybe.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't particularly excited about Giants, but there are some cool monsters in there.
There's cool monsters. I was more excited with the magic items and the feats in the book. I mean, like, yeah. I like the feats that they came out with. Each one's based on rune. Like, rune magic is cool. Case in point, the Rune Knight is one of the best fucking fighters, like subclasses they've made, and everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Do more rune shit. And
again, though, we're losing the plot, Matt.
Yeah, sorry. All right, this is not.
This has nothing to do with any of the playstuff stuff. This is about you're talking about the Bigby's book.
Anywho's in the Horse Heresy.
The Horse Heresy.
Whenever they do the UA playtest, like I'm going to be interested in seeing what they're doing, innovating.
Question. Yeah. So we haven't seen all the playtest material up until this point. Has been Player's Handbook.
Player Handbook and some DM stuff, spells. I think they're done with the feats because we haven't seen.
Wait, what? Spells aren't DM things.
Oh, sorry. I thought you just meant what we've seen in the playtest. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I know, but what I'm saying is, so far, everything we've seen in the playtest has been Player's Handbook stuff.
Yeah, Player's Handbook stuff. Again, there are some rules, but I mean, yeah, I guess there are.
Rules are in the Player's Handbook, Matt.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
In fact,
you're right.
The primary rules of how to play the game are in the Player's Handbook, not the DMG.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all been Player's Handbook up to this point, right? So we still need to see Monster Manual and the new DMG. And they said this shit coming out in 2024.
Yeah, this is the other thing. No, this is the other thing I feel. No, well, actually, no. I do believe they're gonna release in 2024 regardless.
It's gonna be December.
Probably, it's gonna be like October, November, December. Probably one book per month. They're probably because that's been their MO for the last God knows how many years. But I feel like I don't know. They've been so obsessed with the box set thing. I'm surprised they wouldn't do a box set for all three first.
They might.
And then be like, or here, Wizards of the Coast, if you're listening, hire me. Like you have, October or even September if you want to get crazy. Push it back. Like almost less than a year from now. You'd be like, all right, hey guys, you can either buy the Player's Handbook 2024, out now, or you can buy the box set which has all three books. Then you have to wait a month or two to buy the Monster Manual, and then you have to wait another book to buy the DMG individually. But if you buy the box set, you get all three now. That was an idea I thought they were going to be doing, or they could do. They still can do. Just because like the box set idea, again, it's a good idea. I like the idea of the box set. It hasn't been fully executed well, but I think they can make it work. The problem is those box sets, each book's only like 90 pages.
Well, obviously it wouldn't be that in this scenario.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So these box sets are going to have to be like thick ones, like what they did with the Xanathar Tasha one, where it was like the big white box set that came with Xanathar's Tasha and the new Mordenkainen book.
I don't believe it. I don't think they're getting it out next year. That's my hot take. I think they're delaying it. I think they're gonna be. I'm ready for the tweet. We're really sorry to disappoint our fans, but we're going to have to delay. Like I feel it in my bones.
To be honest, I said the same thing when like the PS5 and the Xbox refrigerator. I don't even know what it's called. Came out.
S.
Yeah, it should have been pushed back a year. Like it's coming out too soon. I think
that's a slightly different scenario because the problem with those consoles was COVID. So true. Not quite. I don't know if that's quite. Also,
well, I just meant also like the games came out. There was only like Spooderman for PlayStation 5 at first.
Yeah, Matt, but that's how every console goes. There's one or two games on release. That's always been the case.
I know. I'm just basically tired of these console people.
This is what happens with consoles, Matt. A console comes out, there's one or two first-party games, and then a bunch of third-party shovelware nobody gives a shit about. that comes out at release. That's why you never buy consoles on release. That's been true since the fucking N64.
Yeah.
That's not new.
Shit, what were
These books ain't coming out next year.
Yeah, no, yeah, I
don't
think
believe
because I think because of how like they're saying like we're getting overly positive like when you watch the videos, you know, with Todd Kenrick and Jeremy Crawford like talking about these rules and stuff. And like we got these overly positive. This one thing got like a 60%, which is a failure, you know, but everything else has been like 80 and above, and it's like, okay, whatever, sure, I get that. And I like that they're explaining
have you noticed
it.
what the trend is? It's a real simple trend.
What?
Very easy.
What?
Any change they make that makes a player character more powerful gets a high rating. And any changes they make that nerf player characters get a low rating.
Oh, with the sneak, I remember with the sneak attack change, I was laughing my ass off. Or like,
that's literally
what's funny?
been the trend for everyone.
I don't think they. I'm not gonna actually. I gotta go back and watch the video for playtest 5 results because I don't remember if they said anything about like how negatively the Warlock was received.
Oh, the half-caster one?
The half-caster
pretty
one.
negative. That's why they changed it basically back to normal Warlock.
Yeah. Well, I just don't remember what he said or what they said in the video. That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember I watched the video. I don't know if they mentioned it because of how bad it got reviewed or they just didn't say anything at all. Again, I could be talking out my ass. I got to go back and watch the video and do my, due diligence. But like, yeah, that, like, again, when sneak attack changed, I'm wondering with playtest 7, the Barbarian, because they, air quotes, nerfed the Barbarian.
They nerfed the Barbarian, so it's going to be low.
Yeah, so it's going to be probably low, but I kind of want them to keep the nerf because I like the idea that it's like, all right, it's not everything, but it's 2 that you pick, which mostly for combat, that's all you really fucking need.
All you need, yeah.
And you can change them to whenever you fucking rage or long rest. I don't remember. So you basically do get all of them anyways. Yep. Also, yeah, it didn't make sense that they got resistance to force damage as well.
It did.
For like 2024, yeah. Especially now with Wizards basically making like a lot of the higher monsters, instead of saying their attacks are magical, they just change their attacks to doing force damage. And you don't notice a lot of monsters that have force resistance at all.
Yeah.
So, Warlock, stop complaining. I don't know, shut up. But yeah, no, I agree. I think
I'm just saying, recontextualize. Look through the lens of high rating mean buff and low rating mean nerf, and you'll be like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, that's why they also changed the Dragonborn too. And they're like, everyone, he's like, I remember the video specifically where they're like, yeah, like the Goliath got, stellar reviews. People were really happy about it. We're going to definitely put in the player's handbook. Dragonborn, a lot of people were upsetty spaghetti about it. It's just like, yeah, because literally a month ago or last year, you released Fizzbins and you made Dragonborn cool again. And then you're like, yeah, the new the new 2024 book, we're going to put Dragonborn back to the way they were in the 2014 book. And everyone's like, no, you fixed it. Just put this one in the new book. Just do that. And they're like, I don't know about that. And then they got negatively reviewed and they're like, okay, we're going to do that. And then some. And then they I think they over tweaked the Dragonborn too. Cause now like all Dragonborn can just fly at level 5, which is cool. I think it's cool, but also I'm like, did Dragonborn need to fly?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree. I think it either maybe one of the books might come out in 2024, like probably the player handbook, because it seems like that's the one they're doing the most work on.
I mean, they're definitely doing the most work on that one.
Yeah, but maybe
it is sort of the main book, so that's not surprising.
It's the main book. They have to get that one right. But I think the other 2 either will come out probably the year after. They might release an adventure or so. Actually, no. They might just... Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know what they're going to do, too, with that. Because...
Oh, they said there's going to be an adventure in the DMG.
In the DMG, right. Yeah. But, I mean, like, when 5e was released, the player handbook came out around the same time as Lost Mines of Phandelver. Lost Mine. Fuck. Only one mine.
One mine.
But, I'm surprised they haven't done something like that. And like actually, as the time of recording, I just found out that apparently the Dragon of Stormwreck Isle adventure is free on D&D Beyond right now.
Oh.
So you can go claim it. And they're really pushing, and I heard good things about Stormwreck Isle. And a lot of people, they're claiming like that's the new intro adventure and all that. It's a lot shorter.
They're not claiming it is.
It is. Well, there. But I mean, like for the 2024 rules, is that still going to be the case, or are they going to do a newer one?
Well, they said there's presumably the new one's going to be the
DMG one.
Yeah, the adventure in the DMG.
Oh. Why?
Because people asked for it.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, but also like when they release a separate one, like a small, like again, level 1 to 3.
I mean, why bother if you're going to put one in the DMG already?
I guess.
Seems like extra work for no reason.
Mm.
Because I think they expect people to buy the new books and then run the DMG adventure.
Probably, yeah.
But
then if it doesn't come out, on time, which
I don't see a scenario where they come out separately this time. I think they're gonna come out all at the same time, which is why I think they're gonna get delayed.
Mm.
I just don't see a Player's Handbook and then DMG and then Monster Manual. I just don't think it's gonna happen, or whatever order they did. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think there's been too many I don't want to say fumbles, but I think there's been too many obstacles in the way, such as like the OGL delayed the fuck out of this new edition 100%. Fucked up their play testing, fucked up their reputation. You don't think so? Because I don't think a lot of people, the only play test that was out during the OGL was the Druid Paladin one.
But
and then they had to push so many for the next play test after that.
But I don't think it changed. This is the thing. Everyone's like, oh well, it took longer for the next play test to came out because they were waiting. That doesn't mean they didn't have the design docs, right? Because the people who were dealing with the OGL person were not the designers. The designers, while all the OGL shit's going on, were just probably still working on the new edition. I don't think it delayed anything. I think all that really happened was it just delayed the pace that the playtest came out to the public, which is why they pushed them.
That I'm saying the playtest, because the playtest came out later, it delayed the rest of the work because they were waiting. Because they used a lot of the feedback to help like push certain things, not everything, obviously.
I bet you money what they were doing was it's because they weren't getting the playtest feedback. They were just working on other sections down the road and then just went backwards once they finally got the feedback after releasing it. Like I bet you they went ahead and then went, okay, now that we released playtest 5 or whatever, I think it was 5, let's go back and readdress all the stuff that was in playtest 5, even though we're already working on playtest 8. You know, like I think they just went backward because that's what video games do all the time. Like that's how video game development goes. Oh, X, Y, or Z person isn't here. Well, we're not just going to not work for the day, so we'll just work on this other section instead. Oh, the voice actor can't make it today. Okay, we'll work on this other scene where that voice actor's not in it, you know? Like, that's how that works. Yeah. So I don't think it delayed anything. I just think they were a little too
ambitious.
A little too ambitious with the release window.
Yeah.
I just don't see. I mean, here's the thing. If they release it December 20th, 2024, they're not technically wrong. It came out in 2024. So,
I mean, that would be a good Christmas like thing to do. Like, here's the 2024 bundle. Like,
I don't know. I see it. I see the delay. I can smell it on the wind. I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. But I see it. It just, the pace and what they need to get through, and then like, I mean, think about how many monsters are in the monster manual. Are we gonna do like playtest docs of like 20 monsters at a time? Right? Like that's gonna take forever. You know what I mean? Like think about the pace the Player's Handbook's moving at, and then apply that to the monster manual, which is a bigger book with more shit.
They might do like 1 or 2 of each creature type, just to make life like a little easier. Like here's the dragon. Here's
just like basic shit and go off that.
Yeah, basic D&D shit. Here's an owlbear. Like and they'll have their new mechanics or whatever, and they're like, how do you feel about the new Mind Flare? Do you like that instead of a Mind Blast, it does an Ass Blast instead,
So just not show us everything, just show us little
Not
chunks.
show us everything, but a small handful of monsters from varying CR ranges.
I suppose they could do that. That's not what they've done so far, but I suppose they could.
Yeah, because, unless they do another, gargantuan fucking packet, and they have a ton of monsters.
That's what I mean, right? Like, the monster manual is going to take so... Because the DMG, I think, will be easy in the sense that they're going to write what they write. They're going to structure and restructure. They're going to restructure it like they've said. They're going to reorganize it. And people are going to look at it and be like, yes, it's good. Does the job. I don't think anyone's going to have particularly aggressive, volatile opinions on the DMG, save a couple of... I'm sure there'll be a few sections that are really contentious, but I think most of the DMG is a big advice book. And, what are you playtesting in the... You're not playtesting advice, right? So I think the DMG will be easy. The monster manual, though, has so many fucking monsters. Mm-hmm. And, are we going to look at all of them?
I got to look up the Cobalt Press, because I think one of their playtests for their Tales of the Valiant was a monster PDF.
It had a couple. Yeah, it had a few.
It had a couple, yeah, because I don't know.
But they're making a new game. So,
they're making a whole new game, yeah.
They're
I'm wondering they're using that as an example of... Or, again, what MCDM did, and they released playtest packets of various monsters. So it's like, here's an entire playtest packet of orcs and some random shit. Here's an entire packet of undead
I think that's what we're going to get.
Dragons. Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to get.
It's going to be each one very types. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be types, but I think it's going to be chunks of monsters. The problem is... It's going to take forever. That's all I'm really getting at here, because there's so many monsters. So if you release 10 to 20 monsters first of all, people are going to be like, this is so long, because everyone's already complaining about that. And then also you're going to have to release so many of them because, fucking, it's just going to take forever. That's really all. It's that's why I'm looking at 2025. I'm like, you got to go through all the playtests, make all the final versions, figure out layout and art and all this other stuff. And I know a lot of stuff's getting done at the same time, but
they work on shit way ahead.
No, I know. And again, that's sort of the video game style.
I remember reading a tweet from Chris Perkins where he literally, it was 3 years ago, where he's like, all my life has been built up to this moment. And it's just a blank Photoshop text file that says Space Clown. Just like the fuck. So everyone's like, yes, Spelljammer confirmed. Just 3 years before Spelljammer. So they do work on shit way the fuck advanced.
It was indeed Spelljammer confirmed.
Yeah.
I know they work things in advance.
Well, it's even
just a lot,
that video. Yeah. Even the video they released last year when they were talking, they're like, yeah, we're going to release Adventure with the Red Wizards and Vecna and all this shit coming in the future.
Yeah.
I think by the time they made that video, they have been working on and or already mostly finished with those adventures or new books or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, yeah, it's the video game development cycle of hey, here's our new game coming out next year. We've been working on it for 3 years. That's normal.
And then you have the Anthem developers being like, we didn't make that. What are they talking about? We didn't do that. We didn't do that at all.
Yeah, I mean, by the time Larian showed us Baldur's Gate, it was 3 years in development, maybe 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I still love the tweet from the one guy. What funding? You're like, damn. Fucking got
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I just can't. I mean, they're a much bigger team now. They got more money, so maybe they're just banking on, the sweet dockets, the orc teefies to pay for it and just, whatever. But I'm looking at the timeline. I'm like, well, it's almost 2024 now. And so you have the rest of 2024.
I wonder if they might have mentioned that they were doing it, but I wonder if after we're done with the play test for the player handbook stuff, we're only going to get the DMG and we're not going to get monsters at all.
That would be okay. Well,
strange.
Here's what I'll say. If you're going to axe one of the books from playtesting, I would say axe the DMG. Don't axe the monster manual.
Yeah.
because because the DMG is mostly an advice book. So in terms of like mechanical design, I would say don't worry about the DMG and focus on the monster manual if you're going to do anything like that.
Yeah, because like and again, I agree with you guys with like magic items too should be put in the player handbook. They don't need to change that.
No.
Like what? Yeah, they don't need to change how magic items work.
Nah.
And I know they're like restructuring the DMG, making it more player friendly.
If they are going into the player's handbook, like they've said they are, then we're gonna get it in a player's handbook playtest packet anyway. So
wait, they said that?
Yeah, they said that.
I thought they said it was in the DMG. There was a video with Chris Birkin talking about the new DMG, and he's like, "Yeah, we have a chapter on magic items. We have a chapter on this."
No, I believe they said the magic items are going in the player's handbook. I think.
I could swear they said no, because that was the thing I remember telling you guys, being like, "Yeah, so magic items aren't in the player's handbook, Sag." Like a while ago, they could have changed it by now. But I remember there was the Chris Perkins video where he was talking specifically what's in there. Maybe, probably.
I don't know. I'll have to check the Carfax on that one. All I'm saying is, if y'all see the tweet in the near future about the 2024 release getting delayed and becoming the 2025 rules revision, y'all owe me $5.
Yeah.
Not actually, though. Although, actually, I shouldn't be talking so smug, because I did forget that one of the main reasons the rules refresh is happening is because of the 10-year anniversary, which they're probably really, really keen on trying to nail.
Yeah. Well, remember, it was during COVID. That was like when they announced that we're doing a new rule thing.
Here's my official call. It'll come out in 2024, but it's gonna be right on the line. It's gonna be like it's gonna be my birthday by the time that shit comes out. I'll be 28.
Yeah, because they haven't. I'm trying to think. So like, because we're again this year they push back all the books, so we're getting one book per autumn season. So we're getting a book in October, which I think is the Planescape shit. Then in November it is what is it? Is it the Deck of Many Things book?
Yeah, I think so.
And then I don't remember if there's one in December.
I don't remember.
Because we got the Bigby book, the Fandelver book, Planescape, Deck of Many. What am I forgetting?
I don't think you're forgetting anything.
I thought there was 5 books coming out this year.
No, I think the deck is the last one. Oh, Keys to the Golden Vault.
Oh, Keys to the Vault. Yeah, and that came out months ago. Okay, so already, yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
so
pretty sure. Yeah, Deck of Many Things book is the last one.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was Keys. I forgot about. God, I feel bad about Keys.
Fucking Keys. Rip that adventure book.
Yeah, I flipped through some of the adventures, and it's cool. Like I like there's
I still don't
the high level one is like you're stealing the what's the book called? The Book of Evil Deeds from an Afridi.
Yeah.
And you're like in this lava fucking like castle, and I'm like, that's sick. I'm like, that's a cool like idea for a heist.
Still blows my mind that book came out with absolutely no tie-in to the movie.
What do you mean, Josh? They had the prison that was in that one scene.
Just like y'all really, I feel like that was a real missed opportunity. I'm gonna be honest. How is my man put my man Edgin in the fucking adventure? Like it's not that hard.
They fucking statted them out. They might as well.
Yeah, right. What the fuck? Anyway,
yeah,
that's true that they did. Yeah, they literally statted them the fuck out. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't statted out the Baldur's Gate characters.
They did.
Yet.
They gave him level 1 character sheets.
No. I meant like a stat block, not character
NPC
sheets.
stat blocks.
I want NPC stat blocks.
Why?
I don't know. Just so like I can use them in my games. My players maybe can fight them or like fun team up stuff.
Just level them up.
No.
Just take the stack. Just take the character sheet and level them up.
No, I want someone else to do it for me and then give them cool monster abilities.
But they're player characters.
No.
Bitch, fuck off. Fuck out of here.
They did it with the D&D movie.
All right. Yeah, because those weren't literally player characters. And the Baldur's Gate 3 characters are literally D&D 5e player characters to a T. Like, mechanically, that's how they work.
I still want what I want.
Yes, I know, Matt. You fucking ostrich. I get it.
That's right.
Man, I don't even know what the fuck have we even been talking about for the last hour.
We mostly talking about the flight in general. I have there. All right, let's spin this around a little positively. What have you enjoyed from playtests? Like going through all seven of them.
Why don't we just look at the actual playtests and go from there? I think that'll be more effective.
Do you want to pick like one thing per?
I don't know.
PDF to talk about, or just all right?
We're doing it on the fly. And yeah, so not to belabor the point, but yeah, we'll see about that release window situation. And I'm overall disappointed with the whole thing, so much so that I've been keeping up with it, but I'm not like particularly emotionally invested in it anymore.
I remember when every time the last few surveys I've been posting for people.
Yeah, I ain't done that shit.
Like you specifically have been just like,
nah, bro,
I don't fucking care.
I did one and I did two, and I think that's where I stopped. Maybe I did the third one.
I've done them all except for the first Druid Paladin one.
Yeah.
But again, that was during the OGL.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people ended up fucking doing it.
So yeah, Matt's a little more positive about it. I'm kind of whatever about it at this point.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. I'm probably not, at once I'm done with my current campaign, it's probably gonna be a while before I even touch 5e again anyway. So yeah. So they started when all this began back in the way back.
Oh, I forgot.
They started with the character origins playtest.
I completely forgot about the Ardlings.
That's what I was just about to say. Overall,
I forgot that they were a thing.
I think the character origins playtest was pretty awesome. Little disappointed the Ardlings just kind of poofed out of existence.
I think, again, I got that they were like, we're gonna make one animal race, but it's a little too late for it because they have hippo people, they have cat people, they have lion people.
Well, but that's not even what they were. That's the thing.
Well, I know. I get that they were celestial kind of angelic things.
They're Anubis.
But they were stepping on.
They're Anubis people. They're humans with animal head. Like they're not even animal people. Like they're animal people, but they're not. They're not anthropomorphic animal people.
I think. Well, was it the playtest 2 where they changed that to make them anthropomorphic?
I don't think so.
I don't remember, but like, because like some of them they even said like you can be a rhino and like you can be whatever. And I think a lot of people, like I remember, was it Jeremy Crawford saying, someone was saying this, that like, it feels like as cool of an idea as the Ardling is, it's stepping on too many toes. And I remember for me personally, I was like, well, if you want like a celestial creature race in the player handbook, why not just take the Azamar and put them in the player's handbook?
Azamar are kind of a bit much. I think the player's handbook, they want to try to keep a little more lower fantasy,
but they're already adding Goliaths, so it's like I could see
in the player's handbook.
Yeah,
are they going in the player's handbook?
Yes, that was why the Goliath showed up that one time. They're like, we're thinking because of how popular the Goliaths are, probably because of fucking Critical Role, that they're gonna add them into the player handbook, they've been like. They're like, we're going to think about adding other races like the Ardling. I still feel
like Azamar are a step too weird, maybe, for them to add. Well, I don't know.
But like you have tieflings. So like if you're going to have
Tieflings and Dragonborn have always been those two, like, these are the weird exceptions. That's always been the point. It literally says, a lot of people forget about this. It literally says in the 2014 Player's Handbook, technically, you have to get permission to play a Tiefling or a Dragonborn because they're so rare.
Yeah.
So they've always been the weird exceptions. I think Azamar, they just maybe think are like a step too far, because Azamar,
I don't know, but
Azamar are literally deity children.
Yeah, but it also, I feel like it would make sense because they're one of, if not the most popular race from Volos / Mordenkainen's multiverse nonsense. Like,
I don't think popularity matters in this case. I don't think it matters.
I'm saying. Well, because they're adding the Goliath in, and they're giving the Goliath new sub races. So it's like if you're gonna update and you're gonna add the Goliath, which is a very popular race, why not add the Azamar?
I feel that's like you also are not hearing me.
No, I am, but I'm like I disagree
because buff dudes who live in the mountains isn't as weird as child of gods brought to the earth with angel wings.
It's basically a cleric, but instead of being a cleric, you're born with it.
No, Matt. They're literally godchildren. Like not like touched by God. Like Zeus himself popped an Azamar out is what Azamar are.
Josh, that's fucking like again. That's
I understand
fantasy.
It's cool fantasy stuff, but my point the point I'm saying is the player's handbook specifically as the baseline for D&D. I think they want to stick to a little bit lower fantasy than the other books like fucking Spelljammer and Planescape. And
that I agree
Witchlight and all
with.
that, right? Like they're trying to keep it a little more grounded.
I don't think
so they don't want to add crazy
people,
godchildren into the player's handbook.
I don't think it's that crazy. I know it's not. Honestly, it's
you
not
don't
that
think
far.
godchildren is weirder than buff dudes who live in the mountains?
Not as weird as devil people or dragon people being around as well.
Right, but
like,
again, the devil and dragon people are the weird exception. Like that's.
But that's what I'm saying. You make the Azamar a weird exception.
I get. They still feel like a step beyond to me. I feel like Azamar are so weird to me. I almost feel like they shouldn't be a playable race. Personally, I think they're too much. Like you're fucking Raphael himself. You know, like if you're playing obviously there's lots of ways you can kind of rework the lore, but you know. Never mind. I was about to say Baldur's Gate 3 spoiler. Yeah. But like, it's like you're literally Raphael himself on the planet. Like I almost feel like Azamar are a little, there's a couple of races in 5e that I almost feel like just should not be in the game personally.
Yeah, but you're also the guy who's like, I don't like the weird party. Like I don't like
many
of these weird races. Yeah. So that's what I'm
Azamar
saying.
are
Like
fucking wild.
Yeah. Not to say that you're wrong or incorrect, Josh. However, majority of the D&D people fucking.
I don't know if it's a majority.
I think it is. I think it's a majority.
I don't think it's a majority. That's kind of my thing. I don't think it's a majority. I think it's way more of a 50-50 split than you think.
I don't know.
I think
I've seen a lot more fucking Azamar than I've seen like.
I think there's a pretty healthy 50-50 split of people who want their game to be like lower, more grounded fantasy and people who want crazy over the top, high, wacky woohoo fantasy. I think I think it's way more of an even split than you'd assume.
I think it's because of so many the amount of options available now. Like it's not hard, but it'd be kind of difficult to be like, all right, guys, we're gonna play low fantasy. Like,
it's hard. It's harder. You'd have to restrict a lot of shit.
Yeah, like look at the Dragonlance adventure that came out. It's literally like player's handbook only.
Yes,
except for Tiefling and Dragonborns. And
I love it.
I
thought it was awesome.
Like, fuck you.
I thought it was so cool. No, I thought it was so cool that in Dragonlance they put their fucking foot down and said, this is what you're allowed to play race-wise. You can only take these feats in this adventure, only in this setting. I was like, thank you, Wizard. Put your fucking foot down.
Yeah.
Do it. Thank you. And they never did it again. No, but see, but that's the exactly. Because people have the ability to ignore it, that's why you should put your foot down. Because just say no, and then people will ignore it at their own table if they want to. And you just go, whatever. But by saying no, you give that player who's the player who wants to play a Haragon. Everyone else is really on board for Dragonlance. But then that one player wants to play a fucking Haragon, which are the bunny people, if you don't remember.
Yeah. I got a bunny person in my game.
Okay. And then that one player is like, I'm going to play a Haragon. And all the other players are like, I mean, we were all kind of on board for the tone that we had with Dragonlance. And then the GM's like, well, it says you can't. And then the player looks at it and goes, it does. Okay, maybe I'll rethink my idea. You know, like that momentary little pause of like, oh, well, the game's suggesting I do something else. Maybe I should consider it. All I want is people to consider it. Because as the game is right now, it doesn't put its foot down very much.
No, it doesn't.
And so people just go, wee!
Yeah, because most people, they play in their homebrew games and they make, generic Fantasyland, like we've said multiple times on the show.
I still think the game should put its foot down, though. Like, because you can't be at every table, so default, you should be like, this is how it works. It's just because there's no reason not to. You lose nothing by putting your foot down. As opposed to...
But you gain everything by not putting your foot down.
No, you don't, because that's the problem, because GMs get it. It's mostly GMs who get annoyed at this shit. Right? As a player, you don't give a fuck because you just want to watch the world burn. But as a GM, you get pissed off and you're like, well, my world, I had an idea and I crafted a certain thing and I really didn't want bunny people in my world, but the game says I should let them play the fucking bunny people, so I guess I have to let them play the bunny people.
Yeah, this is where Matt comes in and it's like, just change it, forehead. You can just rewrite it. It's fine. It's make-believe. It doesn't matter.
I know, Matt, but what I'm saying is when the game backs you up, it's nice. It's cool when the game has a strong opinion on things. I like when the game takes a stand on certain things and says this is the way it is, because that's the whole point of having lore and shit like that. Because never mind. You know what? Never mind. Moving on.
Yeah.
Is you're just gonna
no. I mean, we just disagree. That's fine. We can disagree. This is America. We can do it.
I know, but don't hit me with the you could just change it. Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just such a simple, answer. I just. Anyways, yeah, I'm kind of sad that they didn't keep working on Ardling, but I guess it just got downvoted too much, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
I don't think it got downvoted so much as people just didn't really understand what it was.
Yeah. Well, I think that, and I don't think Wizards also had a clear, concrete idea.
Somebody probably did, but it wasn't obvious.
Yeah. If they do an Egyptian campaign of some sort, I don't think if they do a Red Wizard book, it's going to be in there. But if they move to, I forgot where it is in the Forgotten Realms, there is a desert land place. If they do some sort of adventure or setting book or whatever the fuck, in a desert area, these guys would be cool to bring them back and actually full-fledged do an ancient Egyptian type of dealio. These
if I remember correctly,
celestial people.
Crawford said they're gonna come back in some fashion.
Yeah.
Just not. He's not. He said we don't know when, but they're gonna come back because I guess they didn't want to get rid of them.
No, yeah, and I remember. Again, I forget to see Mike Shea. He mentioned that he's doing a group right now.
Face himself.
Yeah, and he's doing. He has a playtest campaign going on, where every week him and his group they use new material and they playtest.
Bro,
and one of the players started with the Ardling, and is still playing an Ardling, being like, I don't want the change. I like the Ardling, and so he's just like. He's like, yeah, fucking keep it. He's like, it sucks that it's gone, but you can still use the Ardling for the playtests, for our games. He's like, I hope it comes back too. He's like, I thought it was a cool idea.
I think it was
needs, fine tuning.
A fine idea.
Yeah,
it was okay. It was getting at something, but they maybe threw it out a little fast. The rest of that playtest was mostly the background changes, which I think are good.
Yeah.
Just pretty much a general, just pick your ability score. They gave you some example backgrounds, or it's pick a feat, pick some ability scores, blah, blah, blah.
Did you notice
create your own background is the first thing on the list because they want you to do that. And then if you don't, they have a bunch of suggestions.
Yeah. I was say, did you notice too with some of the races, some of the minor changes, Drow no longer have sunlight sensitivity?
Yeah, there's lots of little things with some of the races that I don't like that.
I think it
feels unnecessary. I get it. It's because it's
it's an annoying feature for a player, an annoying feature,
but it's flavorful.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's flavor, and they keep getting rid of the flavor in the game.
I think if
that's
they
actually no. You know what? That shit I was saying before about the Dragonlance and telling players no and all that shit. That's about flavor and world building. That's why I like that shit. That's what it is. It's all about the flavor.
I think if they just
I want my chocolate and my vanilla, and occasionally I'll mix them if I want.
The sunlight sensitivity to just be the perception checks, I think more players would be on board with it than the whole disadvantage on attacks. Also, I think it's just a lot of people don't realize, but it's not like you're outside all the time. So if you're in a dungeon, playing Dungeons and Dragons, then this issue ain't gonna come up.
I heard Matt Colville say that one time. He was like, the game's called Dungeons and Dragons, not sunny fields and roads. I'm like, that's very true.
Yeah.
And also,
there are times where you'll be on sunny fields and roads, but
And also,
Not all the time.
maybe it could be a fun thing for the drow player to have to like figure out how to deal with that. And like, I always walk around town in a spooky all black cloak to cover my face and like my eyes.
Yeah, I have
hurts.
a fucking massive umbrella or whatever.
Yeah, I walk around with my Victorian umbrella at all times, looking like an
also
emo kid.
I use it as my magic staff. At the same,
like, and maybe down the road you give the player some like fucking, I don't know, anti-sunlight armor or some shit like. Yeah, it just seems like an unnecessary. Like I get it, but also like why? It's like taking fucking pack tactics away from kobolds. Why? It's such a fun, flavorful thing. I know pack tactics is really strong, but it really like reinforces the koboldiness of the kobolds. Yeah. Because kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now they have a sorcerer cantrip.
Yeah, I mean the cantrips are fun because like dragon lineage, but
give
me pack tactics.
Yeah.
I like pack tactics. Maybe give me a nerfed version of pack. Give me like squad tactics, and it's like a +2 to hit or something instead of full on advantage. Like I don't know.
You know what I kind of want. I know they're not going to do this because of how negatively it was received. I kind of like the Pathfinder thing of like each race has like one negative point. Like, I kind of think that's interesting. I think that's kind of cool. I know a lot of people aren't down for the idea, but like I don't know. I think it's neat. I think it's an interesting thing. And like, again, I'm the guy who's like, I think like, having a negative stat can be a fun, like role play thing to work it up. If you're like a paladin and you dumped your decks, it's like going to be funny when you fucking trip over every marble and pebble you see.
The problem is it's only funny. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It runs the playing into your shitty stats gets old quick. That's the problem. Like, oh, I have a 6 dexterity, so I can't walk very good. Yeah, that's funny for like 3 sessions, and then you're gonna get annoyed pretty fast that your players.
I don't know. I managed to pull it off in fucking Avernus with my fucking negative con.
Yeah, but like, you're not actively hindering yourself 24/7 because of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a limit. I don't know. The negative stats are. I don't know.
Again, it's a neat idea.
I don't really care one way or the other.
People like, yeah.
I've seen lots of games that I've seen some games do it, some games don't. I'm like, it's whatever. Either way.
Did you like the new Tiefling where it's like the 3 different options? You have the Hell one. I'm not a fan of the Abyssal one just because it's poison, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it
can either be poison or lightning because I think demons are like. Forgot demons. It's like 3: fire, cold, and
I don't know.
Lightning. I think demons are like resistant to.
I mean, poison definitely. Poison feels shitty only because poison is, despite what the designers say, poison is clearly a bad damage type.
Yeah, but they
despite
do get
the designers being like,
free.
We don't balance around the damage types. It's like, yeah, sure, but like, there's a lot of shit resistant to poison.
Yeah.
So like, Yeah, I don't want to call you a liar, but like, you might be a liar.
You are an untruther.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were talking about the backgrounds. I really like
cool.
that they
feat's cool.
Yeah, I like the background new feat. I like the level 1 feat idea. I like too that they give you now because I think they started doing this in Witchlight where it's like, you have the +2, the +1, or alternatively you have 3 +1s. I really like that shit.
I mean. Fine. Yeah. Whatever. I have no strong take on that one right there.
Mm-hmm. Confirmed. Josh hates it.
No, Matt. If I hated it, I would tell you. Like I hate Harrogans.
Are you? Because I talked about this with Isaiah. Are you upset in your spaghetti also about them getting rid of the whole arcane, divine, primal spell list things? Going back to class list.
Oh man! So that was one of those things in the playlist. That was one of the things in the playtest where I was like, "This is a potentially cool idea." There's lots of fun. Like as soon as I saw those lists, I was like, "All right." First thing that came to mind is the world building implications here are really fun because now you can make a really strong distinction. Like, I'm a druid. I use primal magic. And there's a mechanical backing because, as I say forever and always, the mechanics of your game should reinforce the fiction of your game. So if the fiction of your game is the druids use nature-based primal magics, having that mechanical categorization, I think is really cool and adds to that fiction and adds to that flavor, going back to that fun word flavor. So that was the first thing I thought of, was like, yes, having them in 3 categories. Now we can be like, yes, the cleric is doing a divine thing and the druid is doing a primal thing. It's very like, it's got like a distinction to it. And then the other thing I thought is, oh, you could do fun magic items based around this, right? You could categorize magic items like this will only work with primal magics, or this will only work with divine magics. And I was like, you could do certain types of spells, because it's a keyword, right? And keywords are really useful. Magic the Gathering uses keywords for all sorts of shit. So keywords can be really useful, and like, I mean, you could do keywords in adventures. If a primal caster walks into this room in the dungeon, they'll feel a foreboding sense of dread, and like they'll have a -2 to all their spells because this area is like desecration of nature, you know, like, or you could have stuff. You could have abilities that key off of it. You know, this ability doesn't affect divine casters and stuff. There's lots of stuff they could have done with it. They didn't do any of that shit.
No.
They did nothing. They did nothing with it. They just,
for me,
it was just
like,
there.
I agreed. It was like, oh, this is cool.
There's lots of potential.
Yeah, there's lots of potential, but they didn't do anything with it. And I know Isaiah and I like kind of like went back and forth because I was like, this is just a big jumbled mess. It's like
it became one. Yeah,
it became one because it's like, we're just gonna throw all the spells in these 3 lists, and there you go. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's alphabetical, but they're like not in class order or like spell type, like number, yeah, like spell level, like order. So for me, as someone who likes to organize shit, and again, I organize, like, you know, I have a mess pile, but it's my organized mess pile, and it's, you know, I know where everything is in the mess. This just looked like a giant jumble mess to me, and I was like, no, this is I'm not vibing.
I mean, even the organization part, that I wasn't so worried about. You could figure that out over time, you know, and sort of, you could figure out a system later down the road or whatever.
It was just annoying.
The thing that the thing that I saw, and I was like, this is a big jumbled mess, is as soon as, because they released the 3 lists, and then everyone went, okay, so how's Bard gonna work? Because like none of the healing spells are on the arcane list. And then they're like, oh well, Bard gets these spells. And you're like, yeah. Just like as an exception, you're like, okay. And it's like, also Bard can choose these specific types of spells from this list. So you're looking at a list within a list, and you're like,
yeah. And it's like, why not just do this for all the classes?
Okay. Yeah. And then it's like, wait, now we're kind of just going back to it. And then, yeah, it just got like wonky. So I love the idea, and I thought there was lots of potential, but they just didn't do anything with it. And it got really wonky and messy. So I'm kind of glad it's gone now. Because, you know what? If you don't have a good idea for how to go about it, then just don't bother.
Yeah.
You know, like I liked it initially, and then I saw what happened, and I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. I'm fine with it being gone. It's the kind of thing where if they were making a new game from the ground up, it would be a very cool idea that I think could be implemented. But grafting it onto the existing system or trying to rework the existing system, it just didn't work.
How do you feel about the well, I guess now, I think after a 3 or 4 playtests, the new inspiration thing where it's like,
it just went back to old inspiration.
You roll the 1 and then you get inspiration.
No, that's not what it is.
Didn't they? They went back.
They reverted it back to 2024 inspiration.
Oh,
yeah.
Because my players in my game, we use the we call it determination instead, just so it's different from what the fuck inspiration is. But basically, if you roll a 1, you get, you know, an inspiration point, and then like if you already have inspiration, you can give it to somebody else in your team.
Oh,
and we have a halfling, so she like she's like, I get a 1, and then we're just sitting there like, does she still get it, or she re-rolls it? How does it work now? We're like, fucking.
That's actually not a bad way to balance halfling luck. Is like, yeah, you get to reroll ones, but it means you don't get inspiration.
Basically, that's what we ended up doing, and then I think there's been a couple times where
halfling luck is kind of OP
ones.
by default.
Yeah.
So I'm actually okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my game we do when you roll a 20, you get inspiration.
Nice.
That's what we're currently using. But yeah, they threw all that out. And, I'm real annoyed about that.
Yeah.
Because the base inspiration rules suck.
Yeah. Because it's like, I get the idea behind, I wish, kind of like what I mentioned last week, where it was like the Baldur's Gate thing. Where it's like,
okay, hold on. Matt. The Baldur's Gate inspiration system is just the normal inspiration system of 5e.
No. But what I mean is the way they set it up, where it's like, you tell the characters, you're like, each player character has like one or two things that can grant anybody on their team inspiration.
Like, you mean determine them ahead of time?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an option. You could, I guess if you're like, these are going to be my inspiration triggers and you have a couple of them that you determined ahead of time, like at character creation, that's an option. Yeah. The thing that really, like, I don't know exactly what I would do with inspiration. I've had a bunch of different ideas about it. The thing that really bugs me though is Jeremy Crawford specifically said, we really don't like Mother May I mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Remember
that? That's a big thing with you as well, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, big same, Jeremy. I hate Mother May I mechanics, right? That's why they changed the Wild Magic Sorcerer. And I'm like, good. Yes, you should do that. Speaking of, well, we'll get to Sorcerer in a minute. We'll go to Sorcerer. So if you don't like the Mother May I mechanics, Jeremy, why did you revert inspiration to being a Mother May I mechanic? Right? Am I like, so you're like, yeah, we don't like this type of mechanic, and we got rid of it inspiration, but we thought we'd put it back because the GM giving you inspiration is just a Mother May I mechanic, because you do something cool and then you look at the GM and you go, Mama, may I please have an inspiration? Please, Mama, a cookie of inspiration, if you will.
And then they say no.
Yeah, and then they say no, or yes, or whatever. But you still have to ask permission. And that was specifically the thing that Jeremy Crawford was like, we don't like that type of mechanic. So then why did you put inspiration back? Why?
It is very weird, yeah.
It's so weird.
I want to ask you, why did you choose to do for the playtest one? You gain inspiration on a 20 rather than a 1.
Because I have my players vote. And they voted on the 20. Personally, I actually like the idea of getting inspiration on a 1 better.
Because that's what most of my players voted on, except for like, I think 1 or 2 people were trying to push back on it.
I do understand the argument, the game design behind it. There's kind of 2 schools of thought, and one is not necessarily like, they're both kind of equally weighted in terms of making sense, I guess, in being like design. Yeah. They're both good design, because the one school of thought is rolling a 20 should feel cool, and because critical effects are only a thing for attack rolls, then it makes rolling a crit on stuff like a skill check and a saving throw feel cool because you get something extra. So that's the one school of thought. The other side of the fence is like, well, no, I want inspiration when I roll a 1, because rolling a 1 feels so shitty that it's sort of a consolation prize that makes my rolling a 1 hurt a little bit less, and ergo be a little bit less demotivating.
Right. Yeah.
And quite frankly, both schools of thought are correct. I think you could go either way. And if
I was about to say, what if you did both? You think that would be too much?
I think that's too much. Yeah, I don't think you could do both. I at least with the way inspiration currently functions, I think that's too much.
If you do the playtest one, if it's just like, if you roll a 1 or 20, you gain inspiration.
Because, well, the problem is inspiration, the stuff what you spend inspiration on is really strong. And if you well, there's two problems. First of all, what you spend inspirations on really strong, right? So your players would be getting advantage a lot more often, right?
True.
Because it'd be going from a 5% chance to a 10% chance, which is a decent jump. So your players would be having advantage a lot more often. And then the other problem is you can only ever have one inspiration at a time. So there'd be a lot of
passing.
There'd be a lot of either past. There'd be a lot of inspirations that go unused because, I rolled a 20, but I forgot to use my inspiration. Shit. Now I don't. And then you're increasing the chance of that happening by making it be both. So I don't think that could work. It could work if inspiration, instead of being like a charge, like a single point you get, if it was like a hero point system, which I think Pathfinder does this, second edition anyway, where you could have, like, let's say you could have up to 4 hero points, and you could spend a hero point 1 for 1, or maybe 5 hero points, and you could spend a hero point 1 for 1 to give yourself a bonus to the roll. So if you have 5 hero points and it's a really important roll, you burn all 5 to get a +5 to the roll, for example.
Yeah.
That way, you could make it be 20s and 1s, add to the hero point pool, right? That's more reasonable. And then they're not as powerful, but they're still worth something.
Right. I think
that would be what I'd probably
Matt
do.
Colville talking about something like that too, like doing the dice pool system for the game.
That's probably, if I were to rework inspiration so that 1s and 20s mattered, that'd probably be my move.
Yeah.
That's off the top of the dome right now, me just thinking about it. But so maybe there may be a better idea I haven't considered, but like, if I were to design it, that'd probably be what I would do. Because that is a fair point, that getting it on both 1s and 20s makes both sides of the bell curve feel interesting.
Oh yeah,
which is an interesting idea.
Right.
Some people.
Plus, it's like, again, it's a 5% chance of getting a 1 or a 20 on a D20 roll. Now you're just increasing that chance to a 10%. That you're gonna get inspiration or whatever.
Some people are of the mindset that 1s should feel bad. That's kind of a different, I don't know. I have a hard time with that one. I kind of get what they mean, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Do we really want to like beat down our players?
The only way I would, if they had a built-in like critical like success fumble table, I like them.
I don't want those.
But they slow the fucking game down to
a grinding. And sometimes they're really, really like, the problem is they're so swingy a lot of the time that like, a monster critically hit me. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'll be all right. I have a lot of health. And then you roll really bad on the fumble table. It's like, you instantly die. And you're like, well, all right, that was not what I was expecting, right? Like,
I think there was like,
you lose both your arms.
You lose a limb or something, or you slip and fall and you go unconscious. And I'm like, neat. Like,
I'm not.
Yeah, sometimes they feel really bad, but it's a game. Like, I don't think it should be like punishing.
I don't. There's a fine line. That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
I want to bring up Sorcerer real quick because we mentioned.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, because
goddamn new Sorcerers, dope.
I think
it's
like
awesome.
the new Sorcerer. I'm not happy with the level 20 feature. I want them to go back to playtest 5 version.
Oh yes, level 20 feature sucks. Yes, it's just
it's like,
just sorcery points again.
You literally had it. You had it.
You had it.
You had it, and then you're like, no. And it's like, what do you mean, no? Fucking no.
Yeah.
Go fucking back. What do you? It's like, I don't know. This might be too powerful, bruh. I'm level 20. I'm never playing. I'm probably playing this once in my life.
Yeah, I'm not playing this a lot.
Let me be power. Yeah,
couple of sessions.
Let me cast wish forever. Like fucking the hell.
Yeah.
For free.
I love the. I do it. Yes. Most of the level. I've ranted about this before. Most of the level 20 abilities suck ass, and the playtest is not fixing that for the most part. It did, and then it didn't. The Warlock one was also really bad, if you remember.
Oh, yeah. Let me just cast Hex forever or some shit.
Yeah,
it's like,
it was
can we not make the war? And I've wrote this in every single survey I've done. And I'm like, can we please change some of these level 20 capstone abilities to be like ultimates, like video games? Can be like, like the Barbarian has a giant fucking explosive AoE or some shit. Like, I don't know, something, man. I get a
lot of them suck.
And I like that they changed the Barbarians back to being like, you get a +4 and a +4.
I don't.
Again, you don't. I know it's boring, but like originally the last time it was just a +2.
Oh yeah. I don't necessarily want it to be a +2, but I also don't think making it a +4 is any better.
No.
I want it to be a cool ultimate, like you're saying. I want it to be like an active thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if it probably, I'm gonna be real. If it were up to me, probably every level 20 capstone ability would just be like install supers. You just go sicko mode.
Yeah.
That'd probably be what I would do.
Like paladins. Paladins, like
yes, paladins. I would just give paladin capstone to everybody. Like not literally what the paladin does, but that style of capstone.
Something like they get a cool transformation or, was it I get the wizards. I get their thing where it's like I can memorize a spell, and I have my signature spell and all that.
Yeah,
and I like that, but also, I guess on WotC's mindset, it's like wizards don't really need an ultimate because spells. Yeah,
I know.
So that one I get, but like you know, sorcerer, like if you're not gonna give them the fucking Omega Beam, like let them have the fucking wish instead of. What is this?
It's literally just you get like a free usage of your you get a free usage of a sorcery.
Oh yeah, what is this? Any sorcery is activated. You can use one metamagic option on each of your turns without spending a sorcery point. Yeah. Wow. I hate it.
And then so the level 21 for Warlock currently, when you use your magical cunning feature, you regain all expended packed magic spell slots.
Wow.
Also boring as shit.
Yeah, that I could see being like, I don't know, not the capstone, but that's a good feature.
14 ability or something. Yeah.
Something. 16. Yeah, like again, the arcane apotheosis, like for the playtest 7, it's a good feature. Don't want it at level 20.
Yeah. That being said, the sorcerer barbarian rage thing, the like sorceress explosion of power. Love that. Big fan. Big fan.
Which one is
their
that?
Their level 1 ability. Their new level 1 ability.
Yeah.
The what the fuck? What are they?
Spellcasting.
No.
Okay.
Innate sorcery.
Innate sorcery.
Yeah. An event in your past left a mark on you, infusing with magic. As a bonus action, you unleash that magic for 1 minute, during which you gain the following: your spell save goes up by 1. You have advantage on attack rolls of sorcerer spells you cast. Love that.
Cool. It's a sickle mode.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And you get it at level 1, and it's thematically makes sense because you're just like exploding with magical power, because sorcerer, because we need to make sorcerer more different from wizard.
Yep.
I forgot good ability.
I forgot. I don't remember. I mentioned this maybe on a podcast. I don't remember. So way back in the day for the Strixhaven playtest, do you remember the like sharing subclass things they were doing?
Yes.
Where yeah. So one of the big things that I definitely I would bet money on this one. They're going to be coming out with subclasses that multiple classes can play, because now everyone levels up the same. Everyone gets their subclass features at the same level.
Didn't they specifically say they don't want to do that though? Didn't they say they want to avoid that?
So
because of what happened with Strixhaven?
They did for 5e. God knows what they're planning for not 5.5.
Called.
Just gonna keep calling it different
rules
names.
Revision. Just call it the rules revision.
No,
that's what it is.
I'm gonna just keep coming up with different names. But yeah, I agree. I thought it was a cool idea.
I don't know.
But they needs to be worked on. But I don't like it because again, 5e, their main thing was the subclasses. Subclasses were like the bread and butter, and it's like and making them less unique by having multiple classes be able to play a subclass, I wasn't a fan of, but I'm interested in seeing if they have like a better fully baked version of it.
I'll be honest,
I'd be interested in seeing it.
Don't hold your breath on that one. I don't think it's happening. I think it's too messy.
Well, I agree, but they've mentioned that they're like, you know, because of how it didn't work out for Strixhaven, but it's an idea that they want to play with. And again, all the classes now, everyone gets their first subclass feature at level 3. They all level up and get their subclass features at the same level.
So they don't get subclass features at the same level anymore. They went back.
Wait, they don't?
No.
Oh, they did.
They did, but they went back on that. So everyone does get their subclass at level 3, but when you get your features is different.
Oh, okay, that maybe because I thought it was the same with every class.
It was for 2 playtests.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
It was, yeah. But then they changed it back to the current order, the current pace.
Way.
Yeah. Or closer to. I don't remember if either they changed it. Yeah, I think it's back to the 2024 pacing of subclasses. So like sorcerer gets their 3rd level, 6th level, 14th, and 18th. Example.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, I thought everyone now got their thing at 18th.
No. Change that too. Because they went back on the whole epic boon, getting epic boons at level 20.
Epic boons.
Yeah, they changed that, so they reverted back. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I like the epic boon thing, but
epic boons just aren't. They're just not interesting enough as they are. If they were gonna rework all the epic boons from the ground up, I would maybe think it was a fun idea, but
I think some of them they did when one of the recent playtests they changed like 3 of them specifically.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd rather just have cool, unique capstone abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not getting that either, so
well,
now we just get neither.
What about the new changes to ability scores that now you can finally, like, I think, was it when you hit 19th level, now you can change it to go above 20? Which is like, that's cool, but also just feels like it's way too fucking late.
I literally don't give a shit about that at all.
Oh.
That's like irrelevant to me. I don't know, like, whatever. Okay. Level 20 character can have a higher ability score. Okay. You know, like, meh. Shrug.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
else?
Oh, you know what else they got rid of? This is the same thing as the spell situation. The class categories.
Oh, did they get rid of that?
I think they dropped that.
Let me see what this new one.
They don't mention it at all in the new playtest.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is strange. Because I actually thought that one was okay.
I think, again, much like the spell situation, I think there's a lot of potential, and they didn't
do anything.
Yeah. So
it was also weird calling clerics, or not clerics, druids priests.
I mean, that makes sense to me. They're religious casters.
Yeah.
Druids are religious. That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're innately, they're Celtic. Thing. But like, yeah, I think they gave up. Well, okay, I don't know if they explicitly said they're not doing those categorizations anymore, but they definitely haven't mentioned them in any capacity. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I completely forgot about that.
Forgot they existed? Yeah.
I forgot they existed until I'm like looking at this one. I'm like, oh yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, there's lots of little bits of rules and bobs, which I just don't, meh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And the cleric one had Goliath.
Yeah, I like the fact that now, because like I think people have homebrewed for a while the whole thing of Goliaths not just being stone giant babies, but also like the other giants.
Yes.
So now the fact that they're like
in general. Didn't they work that in? You could like pick your lineage, right?
That's what the playtest is now. Yeah, the playtest was like you pick your lineage of what kind of giant your Goliath was inherited from. So like, Hellfire, all that shit. And they kind of do some of the same features, I think, from like the Rune Knight and like some of the other same features from the new Bigsby book, where it's like, what do fire giants do? Oh, they do fire whip things. It's like, oh, what do frost giants do? Oh, they do cold damage and slow your enemy. And it's like, okay. It's like, yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
You're like, it's fine. Does the job.
Yeah, basically. It's like storm giants, fucking massive thundercloud aura that zaps your enemies. And I'm like, neat. Hill giants, thick lads.
Yeah, thick boys.
Yep.
Remember if was there anything really notable about monks?
Oh shit! Right? I completely forgot monks. They again, so much shit. Yeah, in the last place, so much.
Oh, that's
stuff.
right. They nerfed stunning strike.
They nerfed Stunning Strike.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not gonna go over the whole martial the discipline dice over key dice thing because that's.
I like that they bumped up the martial arts die.
Yeah, I like that
Good.
too. Yeah. I think it's still not strong enough. Or like, was it at level? Was it level 17 to get a D12? I think that could, you can get that a little earlier, but again, who the fuck plays that high in this game anymore? So whatever.
Well, I
don't
think they want Monk to be like big McDamage guy,
No, well, that the Monk should be like utility, but if they're going to be an upfront guy, I don't know. Like for me, like looking at the Monk and seeing a lot of the stuff, the one thing I'm still kind of irked about is the points. They need more points. Yeah, I don't think getting one per level is enough.
The points.
And it should be either tied to the proficiency bonus plus wisdom or whatever the fuck, or you have 2 plus your proficiency. So at level 2 you have 4. Kind of like Wizard has they have 4 prepared spells, but they only have 2 spell slots.
Yeah.
Something like that, because key isn't as strong as spells.
No.
So let them have 4 fucking key points and let the Wizard have 2 spell slots. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
Throw them a fucking bone.
It's fine.
And then the what do you think of Avatar? Fucking the way of what do they call it in this Warrior of Elements?
Forgot about that.
Where it's now instead of being a spellcaster, it's literally just I hit with the elements.
I mean, I think that probably. I mean, I've been on record saying I hate when a subclass just gives you a bunch of existing spells. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I like that they baked in
change.
the because from the old way of the 4 elements Monk, my favorite things from it weren't the spells, but it was the specific maneuver
stuff. Yeah.
That they got the air one, the water one.
Yeah.
And they basically just
baked them in.
They just gave it to them.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also fucking level 11, you just get a walking, you got a flying and swimming speed.
Yeah, which is
for 10 minutes.
Interesting.
It's all right. What was that one guy from Korra? The evil airbender guy?
Zahir.
Zahir? Yeah. Just fucking pull a Zahir and just be like, let go.
Yep.
And just start flying.
Yeah. Speaking of subclasses.
Yeah.
College of Dance Bard. Love it. Love it.
I was gonna ask, how do you feel about subclasses that are basically the punch fighter, punch bard?
Well, okay.
And then monk just still exists, and it's like what am I, chop liver?
Okay. Oh, here's the thing. First of all, fighter needed a punch subclass. The fact that fighter didn't have punchy McSteve guy is travesty. That should have always existed for fighter. So absolutely, what do they call it? Brawler fighter?
I think brawler, yeah.
Huge fan of brawler. Awesome. Awesome subclass. Kind of fighter I want to play. Big fan. I just want to play fucking Steve, the beer guy who drinking too much and got a big burly ass mustache, and he walks up to the dragon and he just says, "Hey yo, I'm gonna throw some hands," and he uppercuts the dragon. I love it. Big fan. I'm gonna play fucking Dmitry Stroganov, the Russian boxer who boxes bears. Yes, absolutely.
It's not only that, it's also it's basically the grappler fighter.
Yes, wrestler fighter, exactly.
Yeah, wrestler.
So you could do everything from Dmitry to fucking
Macho Man.
No,
Hulk Hogan.
I was gonna say that Nacho Libre.
Oh, Nacho Libre.
Yeah, Nacho Libre fighter. Let's go, baby. Nacho, you fucking power slam the dragon. Listen, I just want to DDT a dragon. Is that too much to ask? Yeah, no, I love Punch Fighter. It's so good. I think Fighter overall actually got some really good upgrades with stuff like Tactical Mind and shit. Fighter got some good stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because I talked to Isaiah about this. What do you feel about their whole thing of we're not gonna get rid of the Battle Master, but we heard people wanting.
Listen,
because again, I was on the opposite fence from you and Isaiah, and I was like, I know. Fucking take. Just no one wants Champion Fighter. It's so basic. It's.
I still want Battle Master to be absorbed into Fighter. I do. But I'll accept it. because at least they thought about it. They tried. I said, all right, fine.
Yeah.
At least you took a look at it. I'm not happy about it, but I'll take it. I got Brawler Fighter, and I got. Here's the thing: the reason I'm mostly okay with it is because Brawler Fighter cool, and also because Baseline Fighter got some new fun stuff. So I'm like, fine.
Yeah, Baseline Fighter is so fucking good.
Fine.
Like, Fighter was good already, and now it's like.
I stand by maneuvers should be for all fighters, but fine. I'll let it go.
Well, now I think they have the one of the feats that's basically that. Yeah.
So, like, yeah, sure. All right. You win this time, communists.
Yes.
But in terms of the Bard one.
Yeah, I'll dance, yeah.
Listen, didn't expect it. Super weird, but it's pretty cool. And like people are like, oh, but it steps on the monk's toes. Here's the thing. It doesn't really step on the monk's toes because the unique thing about monk isn't the fact that the monk can punch. The unique thing about monk is the key points and the fact that they're like a kung fu master, right? Like the thing that makes monk unique is that they're this very specific sort of, you know, mystical Jackie Chan figure, right? Like they're Neo from the Matrix.
It's like we're using magic, but not your kind of magic.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
and they have like a religion. You know, there's like a religion element to the background of them, and there's like a discipline, which is why I actually like discipline points as a name because I think it makes a lot of sense. Because a big part of monks is discipline. I think that works, especially if you want to take away the like Asian specific stuff. I think discipline is a very good word. Because they could have just called it monk points, and that would have sounded like shit.
Well, I think key points. It sounds cooler, and it gives more of that visual, like again, the world building, like all that, the visual of like.
Yeah, but I think discipline
energy,
still
like
does that. I think discipline still hits it because discipline is what you're doing in a lot of ways. Like that is a thing. That is what a monk is. You're a disciplined fighter. He also has the connotation of energy. So like being that, you miss out with, like, a little bit of some of the mysticism of it. Yeah,
yeah, that's the thing, guy. Again, one of my players, the guy who was the Shadow Monk from level 1 to 20, he literally was like, he's like, I'm never gonna call it discipline points. He's like, I don't like it. He's like, I'm just gonna keep calling it key, even if they change into 2024 rules. And it's like, yeah, fair, same.
They'll call it something different eventually.
I don't think so. I think they're kind of glued to discipline points.
You can think that. That's people say.
No, I'm saying I think Wizards is glued to the
Wizards,
key, like
Wizards is, yeah. But I'm saying your player is like, I'm never going to call it anything but key points. We'll see about that.
I mean, I'm going to keep calling it key points.
We'll see about that.
Again, I'm not a fan of discipline points.
This has nothing to do with anything. Point being, we're talking about College of Dance. I think it's fine. I don't think it really steps on Monk's system that much. I wasn't expecting Punch Bard. They're also not really even Punch Bard, right? Really, it's Acrobat is what it is. And so I don't know if you know this, but back in the Dizzy, Acrobat was a class.
Yeah.
A whole ass class. So
I was going to mention that a lot of other third-party, developers have basically made something similar to this already.
Oh, yeah, because it makes
an
perfect
acrobatic
sense.
bard or a dance bard or something. So it's been also, in 5e for a while, but not officially, and I'm glad that they're like thinking about it.
Another way to have a not singing bard, which is something a lot of people ask for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it. I think it's fun. It's probably a little too strong in the playtest, but whatever.
Yeah.
Tuning, balance adjustment comes later.
What did you think of?
Give me back Song of Rest, though, you sons of bitches.
Lol. Yeah.
I don't care if you
I'm glad they.
Give it a different name.
They got rid of the fucking let's just give them every healing spell, and it's like, can you can you give them something cool like Song of Rest? And it's like, how about no? And it's like, all right.
Give me back Song of Rest. Oh my god, I forgot about the best bard change.
Well, Counter Charm.
Counter Charm is actually fucking usable now.
Yeah.
If you are a creature within 30 feet of you, fails a saving throw, and against an effect that applies Charm or Frightened, you could use your reaction to cause the save to be rerolled, and they have advantage. I love it. You'll love to see it, baby. It's actually a really good ability now. It's still really specific in that it's only Frightened or Charmed, but at least it's fucking usable now.
Yeah.
And it's strong, but that's okay because it's only for a very specific set of things. So it's
exactly
more
like
powerful.
fighting a
Love it.
charm. So if you're fighting like a fucking succubus or
Yes.
a dragon,
Yes.
like
I love
yeah, finally. You're like,
that
all right, sick.
the succubus starts seducing the barbarian, and the bard just points to the barbarian. He's like, hey, eyes on the prize. Don't look at the titties. Look up, boy. Look up, boy. Hit her with the axe. I love that. I love that you can talk them out of it. That's so great. The barbarian's just like, big titty. And you're like, hey, look away from the booba.
Going back to fighter just for real quick. What did you think of the new Eldritch Knight? AKA the Eldritch Knight is basically still kind of
It's
meh.
just Eldritch Knight is so meh.
Dude, I'm so sad. I really wanted them to like
Do something with it. Yeah.
do something with it. Yeah.
The fact
Like-
the fact that your war bond doesn't make your weapon your focus,
I don't.
what are we even
fucking
doing
get
here?
it, dude.
Just make your
Right.
weapon the focus. Because the thing, you know what really kills Eldritch Knight for me? Because so Eldritch Knight, you still need to have a focus, which means, what are you? I'm a dude in full plate mail with a long sword and a wand.
And a wand.
You're
Yeah.
like, oh, you look kind of like a goof. Okay, you got a wand, like you got your big cool sword, but also look at my magic staff, and like you're not wearing the
Yeah.
wizard robe, so you just kind of look like a goon.
Like, I get that.
Let it be my weapon.
You know what the Ruby of the War Mage?
Yeah, it makes
magic
it your
item?
weapon. Yeah.
I get that it exists.
I don't care.
However, can you just? It's a common item.
Yeah.
Just slap it into the Eldritch Knight feature.
Yeah.
Fucking
Warbond.
And like they
The
could have done
Warbond
like
ability
cooler
should do
thing.
that.
Yeah, the Warbond ability.
Especially because
And then-
Warbond doesn't really do shit right now.
No. And then also
Like,
you can have like
teleports back to my
upgraded
hand.
Warbond being like, oh, now your weapon becomes a +1 or +2 when you level up, or it
Yeah.
has gained some magical benefits. It's like, no, it's just I could boomerang my sword and it'll come back to me again.
Yeah.
It's like fucking.
It's
Or
literally
I can
all
do
it
the
does.
stupid like my Warbond weapons are 2 fucking cannons. I can only attack twice, but boy, are they gonna hurt. It's just like fucking.
So dumb.
God damn it.
Yeah. Yep. Eldritch Knight.
I do like the
didn't do
Eldritch
anything.
Strike feature. Like that one's pretty nice. And like
Yeah. Sure.
the level 15, it's like, yeah, when you use action surge, I can now teleport, and it's like, great, thanks. I don't have to fucking waste my bonus
That's a
action
cool
on
one.
Misty
Yeah.
Step.
But it's just.
Yeah.
It's just.
But like it's
But like
when
Eldritch
Blade
Strike.
Singer exists, like
Yeah.
this needs to step the fuck up, and it did not.
Yeah, well, because the thing about Eldritch Strike and Arcane Charge is like they're fun, like they're fun abilities, but they don't really necessarily sell me the fantasy of the Eldritch Knight. You know?
No, I think
Like,
what they want, they're
Matt-
like, oh, it's a cantrip slinging. Like,
Did you
guy,
play?
and it's-
Did you play Dragon's Dogma?
no, I know you talked about it a bit.
I need you to play Dragon's Dogma and play the. I think they call it a Mystic Knight. I forget. I think that's what it's called. I need you to play the Magic Knight class in Dragon's Dogma. I don't even need you to beat the game. Just play a little bit as that class, and just what that class does. That's what I want Eldritch Knight to be.
Okay.
Because it's just like
Or-
you cast like enchantment spells on your weapons. So you have like a flaming shielded sword, and then you put
Yeah.
like a magical ward in front of you that you like strike it to shoot projectiles. You get
Yeah.
like mobility. It's just exactly what you get. All the fighter
think
stuff
when-
and cool spells. Come on.
When it comes to the Eldritch Knight, they really need to take a look at what worked for Blade Singer and what works for Rune Knight. Because besides Eldritch
Rune
Knight,
Knight.
Rune Knight is
Rune
the
Knight
magic,
is the magic
fucking-
knight. Yes,
It's
yeah,
the Magic Knight guy.
It is. Yeah.
It gets so many different options, and all these, like, all of them do different magical abilities. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's literally the best fucking fighter now.
Pretty much.
Just take a look at what makes those things cool and just do that for the Eldritch Knight. Make the Eldritch Knight, like, when it does a spell, it gets additional effects, or when it gives it, make, I know now they're really keen on this whole, like, a spell is a fucking class feature thing. Why not just give them a spell, and then when they do this specific spell, another thing happens that makes them fucking crazy. Like, it's like, all right, when you cast magic weapon, I don't know, your fucking reach goes out by like 10 feet, so you have a giant sword, and now you fucking hit everything. Or you instantly get the cleave thing, something, like, I don't know. Like, I'm super disappointed. Like, this is, like, again, it's, I feel bad this episode seems to be mostly negative, even though I was kind of like, yay on the playtest. But there are some things that, like, I do have nitpicks on, I am very disappointed on. This is like the biggest one for me, because
Eldritch Knight.
I want-
This is the straw that broke the camel's back.
What? Well, no, it was the last Warlock because goddamn, that was
yeah.
awful. But like, yeah, I want the Eldritch Knight to be good. I want it to be like, again, if it's going to be in the playtest,
cool.
yeah, it should be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right though. If someone says like, I really want to play like a Magic Knight dude, it's like, cool, play Rune Knight. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do. Either play Rune Knight or consider Blade Singer. But a lot of people I think are gonna look at Blade Singer and not necessarily like the flavor of Blade Singer. Yeah, because it's wizard first is the thing about, right? Blade Singer's wizards first, whereas Rune Knight is fighter first. And I think most people when they want to do Magic Knight guy, they want to do fighter first.
It's mostly. So weird because before, like me and my buddy Wolf, we had this saying where it's like, it's better to be a martial person with a little bit of spell casting than a spellcaster with a little bit of martial.
It is,
because if you're a martial guy and you can kind of add spells, you're already set. But if you're a wizard and you're trying to swing a sword around, like you're kind of like you're dropping the thing that makes you you.
Yes.
And then Blade Singer came out and they're like, well, JK, never mind. Actually, we could do both.
Well, yeah,
and so fucking Eldritch Knight's like looking at like fucking has his fucking dick in his hand like what am I? I don't know.
Why am I here?
Yeah, why am I here? Why do I?
It's just I'm you, but better.
But better, yeah, exactly. It's like this, and I don't know if it's just like the fact that they want like the Eldritch Knight to be the cantrip slinging like guy.
I don't know
knight,
what they want it to be.
I don't know. But like, yeah, no, it should be like Rune Knight, like. When they cast spells or give them specific like things or just fucking, or you know what, just say, fuck the Eldritch Knight and just put Rune Knight in the player's handbook and just call it like,
call it a day.
Yeah, call it a day and just update the Rune Knight. I don't know what you would do to make Rune Knight better, but you just call it a day. Like one of my players is playing a Rune Knight and it's so fucking cool. It's
I have Ant's characters of Rune Knight in my game too. Yeah,
like it's so flavorful. There's a shit ton of things. And especially now with the Big B's book coming out, like there's gonna be stuff I'm gonna throw in for the player. Yeah. So like they're good, man. It's fucking just do Rune Knight, for Eldritch Knight. There you go. Oh, that's it.
Matt's one true calling.
Yeah.
Give me better Eldritch Knight.
I guess before we wrap up, I don't know if there's any last thing you want to talk about. I wanted to quickly go over the whole like getting rid of the sculpt spell shit or modify spell, but like we could save that.
That's not a quick thing, man.
No, we could save that for when Isaiah's here too, because I know he was kind of disappointed that they took that out. But is there anything you want to go over before we like?
There probably is more stuff, but we spent so much time at the beginning you be yapping about other crap. So like no. The one thing I will say is the what are they called? The weapon masteries. Weapon masteries, cool.
Oh, they're so cool. Yeah,
big fan.
I'm so happy because in my Strixhaven game we were using the ones from Cobalt Press, the Midgard book. Yeah. It's basically the same shit.
Same idea.
Literally same shit.
Yeah.
Except there's less in the Wizards one because of playtest.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Cobalt Press, they have like a fuck ton. And yeah, no, I'm definitely, again, I think after discussing this now, I'm, again, as much as negatively, I'm still positive that this is going to be okay in the end.
Oh, I don't think it'll be bad.
No, I don't think it'll be like, I don't think they're going to like fumble the fuck out of it and everyone's going to be like, never mind, D&D's dead. Everybody, let's go to...
No, I don't think it's that situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I think I'm still not sure if this is going to divide the fan base like originally
it will.
I thought it was.
Oh, it will.
I think it's not going to be...
It's going to be less, maybe?
I don't think it's going to be a 4th edition Pathfinder situation.
Oh, no, I don't think it'll be that. No.
I don't think it's going to be literally a 50-50 split. I think this time it might be like a 60 or 70-30 split.
I think what it looks, honestly, what they're doing at this point is they're changing things enough to make it feel like, buying a new book is worth it, but not changing things so much and that it feels like a completely different game. And because they're they're keeping the changes kind of light. I think it's going to, for the most part, have a lot less of a dividing effect, and I think most people will be fine with it because the changes aren't going to be that crazy drastic. Because that seems to be where they've landed. They're like, we're going to change things a little bit, enough, but not too much. Not too much.
Do you think it's just because they're afraid that they don't want to fuck up? They're like, there's a lot of pressure on them being like,
so
D&D has never been this popular. we're making all this money. We got a little snag a couple months ago, but it's fine now.
I think what Sean,
like, they're so afraid to drop the ball.
No, I don't think it's that.
Safe.
No, I think what Sean Merwin's, I think it was him who said it. I think he was on the ball with this, which is that the whole reason this is happening is because the 10-year anniversary was coming up, and the designers were like, well, game's doing good, and the shareholders went, yeah, but you have to do something for the 10-year anniversary. You know, it's a big thing. There's a real money-making opportunity here, so we need you guys to do something. And the designers went, okay, I guess we could maybe like refresh the rules a little bit. That should work, right? You guys cool with that? Like, not a new edition, but kind of a new edition. And the shareholders went, can we sell another book with that? And yeah, let's do it. I think that's probably what happened. Like, I don't know that the designers even wanted to do this. I'm gonna be honest.
Probably not.
Maybe they did, but I think they got a little pressured. I think they got pressured.
If it wasn't the whole 50th anniversary thing, we might have just gotten another fucking like Tasha, like,
yeah, for sure. That's what. Yeah, if it wasn't the 10th anniversary, we would have gotten another Tasha-esque book. I think that's probably the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
We're not. That's just a theory, however.
Okay. Theory.
A tabletop theory.
Has he made one of those channels yet?
Tabletop? No.
Matt Pat?
No. He has a game theory.
We can be the first, Josh. Let's go.
Game theory, food theory, and film theory.
All right. No one's done tabletop theory. Let's go.
I mean, someone might have.
Is it true that dice are actually the tastiest food in the world?
Yeah, and everybody knows that.
As bright and colorful as they are, if you eat the dice, you will gain the powers of your dungeon master.
Yeah, of course. Everyone knows that.
Find out after this hospital trip.
Yeah, I ate my dice last week. It tasted like cherries. Great.
I like that 1XP, the level 3 video where, like, when a character dies, he just eats your dice.
Just eat the dice. There was another sentence there, and now there isn't anymore. All right, that's been us. This was if you didn't notice, we didn't have notes for this episode.
Nope.
It was this is what you might say a little rambly.
Yeah. I mean, you and Isaiah have been doing that a couple times. Like, we've done that with him when he's hosted. I've done one of these rambling. Although this was a rambling with a purpose.
Yeah, it was targeted rambling, but it was a little rambling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. Follow us on the Twitters. I know that place is a fucking hellhole, but, you know, if you could follow us there for now, that'd be nice. And, you know, then we could give you an update if we go to a different platform.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the playtest material? You guys liking it? You hate it? Did you not even know that there was a playtest going on? Let us know.
God, what a universe to not know this is going on. What a beautiful bubble you.
Right.
Ellis.
There's probably some players being like, wait, they're doing a new edition?
Not some. There's a large quantity of players that aren't super turbo nerds like us that are fucking paying attention to this shit. That have no fucking clue. It's great.
Here's my tabletop game theory. I think it's literally mostly just DMs who are paying attention to this shit and people that run games that are paying attention. Majority of players, you know what? Actually, I'm going to ask my players because the only time... reading it. Yeah, because the only time they know that a playtest comes up, I feel like, is when I post it.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think you're probably right on the money with that.
Players
okay, bye now.
Monetized. Superman.